Yes, y'all. What's going on? It's Evaluation of Love, episode 14. You know what I mean? Let me add my Instagram people onto the live as well. So to everybody on Instagram, what's going on? What's going on? So we got 14 of these things. Let me, shout out everybody in the chat first. Salute to Minnie Mariah Grace. What's going on, Grace? What's going on? What's going on? You know what I mean? She's giving a shout out to all the embracers. Please press the like button upon your arrival. There you go. There you go. You know what I mean? So to the homie 100 watts. Watts percent. Oh, Minnie Mariah in the building. What's up, girl? Let me add you real quick. Hey, what's going on, girl?
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Hi,
You know
Miss
what I mean?
Polly. How are you, baby girl?
I'm good. I'll get better. I was sick, but I feel okay today.
Okay,
I feel
good, good,
yes.
good. Yeah, Bess, you did a show at the time where I'm able to come through. You know I'm always support, especially if we living together. I'm always
Yeah,
Mhm.
support when I got the time. Definitely.
that
Real,
sounds good.
real quick, I'm gonna do a free promotion real quick. I mean,
Uh-oh.
Grace, and Kings and Dreams, we have a show Thursday. All right, so
What?
we
Yeah,
will
how
be
you doing
on.
crazy stuff?
Yeah, we're gonna be on Thursday. You know what I'm saying? We about to get it popping on Thursdays. And yeah, it's gonna be an interesting show. It's gonna be a very interesting show. Intellectually embracing kings and dreams will be on this Thursday. Will be our first episode. We're about to get it really popping out here. So yeah, definitely check it out. Miss Polly, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I said that y'all out here acting wild and crazy. That's all I said. I just said, what's the show called? You didn't say.
Oh, intellectually embracing kings and dreams. You know what I mean?
You
So.
like that, huh? You see how we
Mm,
put in all our names in that?
I see that.
Mhm.
Very, very,
Mhm.
very
Very
sneaky.
clever, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Miss Polly,
Yeah,
don't
that'll
forget,
be this Thursday.
we gotta hook
I
up for
know.
that show. But you
Yeah.
weren't feeling well, so I'll get back with you next week.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I can still do the show. But yes, it was good stuff. We're gonna make it. What do you? Okay, wait, we will talk about it later. I'm sorry about saying
Don't
what we
forget.
gonna talk about.
You know what is we gonna talk about? Does size matter?
Oh my God. Okay. All
Oh my
right.
goodness.
She didn't. She
Hey,
already. She didn't
oh,
made it.
the cowgirl here. Go on, cowgirl.
Oh
The
Lord.
cowgirl.
Oh,
What
ah,
is going on? What? Wait a minute.
Chocolate
What?
Earth, how you doing, boo? Oh, she doing good.
Wait a minute.
let me give it to y'all. Wait, first of all, let me tell y'all, my neighbors are beautiful and wonderful. I am off location. They let me
Oh.
stay space this evening. So yeah,
Oh.
let's go. What's up, Grace?
How you doing, boo? You looking good? What you up to? How you been?
I'm trying to take over the world. You ain't know.
I know that's
Oh.
right.
Wow.
Send me a ticket.
You got it. Listen, I see you a ticket in a bottle. Tell me what you
I
drink.
know that's right. I got you. White
He's in
Hennessy.
a rodeo.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I want to go. And this is perfect. My neighbor. Is it okay? Can I tell? Can I tell? So her name is Miss Donna, and my boy JT back here. And so she gave me this hat because her birthday was 2 days ago, and my birthday is coming up. So we April in it out. So this day one, you getting the cowboy hat today. Next time, it might be a leather vest out here. So
True,
Oh my
too.
god.
let's
And if
go.
none of y'all known, best birthday coming up because he shared the birthday with my sons.
Yeah.
So they twins. So shout out to my family. Birthday coming up. You
Yeah, yeah.
made it.
Yeah.
Another rotation around the sun.
That's it.
Yeah, this
Made
birthday,
it.
this birthday gonna be very emotional. Very
I
Oh,
emotional.
know. We
you
know.
No love.
memorable.
Salute, no love. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to Mo
Hey,
Love.
Mom.
Make sure y'all like and
Miss
subscribe to
Polly,
Miss
hello.
Polly Right. Make sure you like and subscribe to Chocolate Earth Foundation. Make sure you like and subscribe to Embrace the Grace. And if I resonate with you, you can like subscribe here. There's an intellectual soapbox. Also, the sister channel KNR, sophisticated jerk. Everybody, man, please show love to everybody in the family. If you want to be a part of the family group, please DM me or reach out to anybody in the family. And we will add you in the group promptly once we screen you, of course, and we make sure you're cool. But yeah, definitely come through if you
Yes,
would
we know
like.
you crazy. Mm-hmm.
Make sure you ain't crazy.
Ain't
So this is my
crazy.
this is
That
my question,
level.
family.
You know I'm talking about
This is
that
my
level of
question.
crazy. Like I need you to be quiet. Step back, sir. We about to get that jacket for you.
So this is my question, right?
Mhm.
Okay, now, because I was gonna say strong black people, but Miss Polly wanted me to put it this way, so I'm gonna put it this way. Salute to my music curator, Von Eric. Has
What's up,
the
Ron?
ideology of being a strong black woman ruined relationships?
Hell yeah.
Yes, that's the question. That's what it's women. Okay.
Yeah, dude. I'll let somebody else go. You know, I can run my mouth all day. So,
Okay.
but that's my
We'll
answer. Go ahead.
okay. We're gonna also the first part I just stirred the pot here that like yeah, we strong, we don't need nobody, and we trying to make sure that like we're taking care of ourselves. We don't have to depend on no one, and it's all this kind of BS where we want to be independent, but even asking to be with someone is the opposite of that. You don't want you want to be with someone, but then you don't want to be with someone. It doesn't make sense. So I think a lot of times some women are trying to use it as a protection, but it's doing the opposite because if you really think about it, when you go out in this world, the people who give out the help ain't giving it out to the people who don't look like they need help, right? You have, I mean, I'm just gonna say this is gonna sound kind of fucked up. If you don't look like a victim, you ain't gonna get victim treatment. Okay, I just if you need to, you need help, you need help, and you gotta act accordingly. If you need help at any form, and most women say oh, we got this, but I know y'all don't want to shovel snow. Okay, listen, I don't even want to pump my own goddamn gas. I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't. I don't even get out the car when it's windy outside. This is things I don't want to do. I'm not saying you shouldn't want to do it, but
Okay, Miss Polly, you being
you know.
extreme then. You
Okay,
being
what I
extreme.
don't want to. Who wants to pump gas in the cold? Who?
Nobody.
Nobody.
I
Nobody.
miss the
Okay.
days.
You're
I
being
was a
extreme.
little
That's called
girl.
that's
When I
called
was a
being an
little girl,
adult. And
my
listen,
grandma.
No, I'm not. I'm a lady. F that.
Right.
I'm a lady.
Let me
That's
ask
where
you
we
this
at.
though. Just about this
you are.
moment. Just about this
Oh,
moment.
fair,
Why
fair,
do you?
fair use on this one. Fair use. Hold
Oh
on,
yeah,
y'all.
yeah.
Fair use.
Okay.
Fair you. Go ahead. That's
No, Miss
messed up.
Polly, no.
I don't
No.
No,
care.
that's not true. Okay, well
Whatever.
here's another example. He don't like that example. Let's get another example. Stuff I don't want to do that I shouldn't do because
Mhm.
I'm a lady. I want everyone. We're gonna make a chain of shirts that says I'm a lady, and it say I can't do it because I'm a lady, and that's what we gonna have to write on our shirts. Okay, there's
That's a
certain
lot
things
of
I don't want to do because I'm a
Al Bundy
lady.
no damn type stuff. That's like some
Hey,
Al
Miss
Bundy no damn
Polly,
type stuff.
may I ask you a
Yes,
question? How do you
yes,
feel
man.
about this? You know, I went through this whole thing. I was thinking, like, do I need a man per se to take
Yeah.
care of me, or do I
Oh
need to
yeah.
hire enough people to take care?
Mm-mm.
And I think hiring enough people to take care of me is the best way to go.
You mean for the kids?
Hell no, I ain't got no kids.
Oh, I thought you said for the kids.
Not
I'm
for
sorry.
me. What
Oh. Okay.
I
I'm
need
sorry. I
you to
got confused.
buy
I thought we were talking about
somebody.
children.
Cause no, you was talking about pumping gas. So I
Oh
have
yeah,
a
we don't want to do that.
driver. They can pump the gas.
Yeah, but see, that's just okay. Listen, it's gonna sound like an asshole thing to say. Okay, who wants to spend money when it can be for free? Okay, let's stop. Let's
Nah,
stop.
I'm wait.
Okay,
You
okay,
know,
we gotta save money somewhere. Okay, we gotta cut some of these costs. We already paying $9 for 6 eggs.
ma'am,
Okay, says a lot. Let's cut some costs. Wait, why can't you give out hugs and get your gas pumped? That's what I'm trying to say. I don't like giving out
put
hugs.
his hand under your shirt. That's why you can't give out hugs.
She's like, listen, if it's one, if listen, if you're monogamous and it's one man grabbing a little titty for some pump gas, I'm down.
I don't think I
I'm
should
down.
get all that on my mate though. I guess that's the thing. Like,
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, he might want to pump the gas. Listen, that's what y'all need to stop doing. Stop taking the roles these
that's
men
not what
want to do. They want to do it. Let them do it. I ain't
I'm
gonna
gonna
fight
let.
them.
Listen, I know Miss Grace got something to say, but I want y'all please
Oh,
come back
sorry.
to me because I really do, Polly. I think, and
Okay.
to your point, yeah, I want to go back to that real quick. But go
Like
on.
hugs. I mean, some men just want a little hug. A hug don't hurt nobody.
That ain't what we talking about. If
Oh,
you're a
okay.
strong woman, right?
Mhm.
I don't know if you've been called that.
Oh, wait, say it again.
A strong woman.
Oh, okay, no, because I tell people you a damn lie.
Okay, well, here we go. I wish I started getting that when I was a little girl.
Oh no, I don't like
Oh,
that. That
yeah.
would be bad. You gotta say no, ma'am. Okay, keep going. Yeah, we don't say
Right,
that. Yes,
right.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Skip, I'm 11 years old,
Mm.
and my father left us, and my mama was sick. I have a little sister, by the way. My mama laid out on the couch, child. I'm 11 years old.
Oh
And you
Lord.
know, that was the day that I became an adult.
Oh no. No,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
good. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Lord. No.
No, but what I'm saying is that the strong woman trope
Yes.
has its stereotypes, but it also has truth to it. Because
Mm.
again, my best friend, she told me that, and I told her, please stop calling me strong, sis.
Praise him.
Because I'm gonna tell you something. Can I pick up a couch? Sure. Can I help you move something? Depending on what it is.
Okay.
That's physical strength, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You ain't addressing my mind when you say I'm a strong person. I am barely hanging on by a string. So, because I don't go to jail. You come into these relationships with men who say they want that. They want a strong woman. They want somebody that's gone. They don't want to be bored.
We gotta leave them in the street.
Yeah, that's what they say behind the curtains. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no. Oh no. We gotta leave them on the street.
Now, check this out. I grew up, basically, I call it a little village of women who were like, they were all in charge. Their husbands, boyfriends were secondary.
Oh,
the kids came first.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm gonna shut up because I'm thirsty.
No, that's okay. We need to embrace the grace to give us with some embracing. Maybe she embraces hugs for gas pumping. I'm down. Let's go.
Well, the thing is, it took me a long time to really admit 100% that yes, I do need a man. And for that, I got to tell fathers to stop doing a disservice to their little girls, because my dad practically raised me like a boy. And I do have a lot of masculine features, but I've had to learn to like tone it down. I've had to make pretend I was in distress, the damsel in distress. I don't know how to do it, but I'll do it. But I know you get more bees with honey when it comes to men than vinegar. So really, I call one number and 5 people answer the phone, because when you treat men good and respect them and value them, they're always going to be there for you in one shape, form, or another. But fathers got to stop telling them you don't need a man. You got to be strong and independent, because when my dad passed, I was actually lost in the sauce, guys. I didn't know what to do because daddy took care of everything. So with that being said, we have to balance it out. Yes, we got to be strong and independent. We also got to learn to stay in our femininity. We also got to learn to sit in the front seat and be the pretty girl in the front seat and chill the fuck out. We're trying too hard to do what men do. Let the men let them play their position. And we play our position. We're so busy trying to tell men what they need to be and what they should do, but we don't even know our job description. Where they do that at? We cannot tell the boss how to do his job when we don't know what our job instills first. We have to know our role and our position. Yes, men want strong and independent women, but at the same time, they don't want loud, boisterous. And then look, I'm part of that crew too, because when I went to therapy and actually had to work on this, me and my therapist had a motto. We're going to work on being more graceful versus so gangster. So graceful. It's an everyday struggle for me, because, and I don't want to use the excuse that I'm from New York and I'm half Italian, but at the end of the day, that is my blueprint. I mean, how do I change the fact that I've always been on survival mode, that I'm a hustler, that I'm a problem solver? I just have to trust that whoever I decide to be under their covering, that they are going to do the right thing. And it's hard. It's an everyday struggle, guys, because when I've been driving the car for so long and now I got to relinquish the steering wheel and I got to trust that you know how to drive, you know where you're going, you're going to get me there safely. It's a lot. So I know it's hard for us, but we've been tricked. Feminism tricked us, telling us we don't need a man. We need men, ladies. We do. And I know y'all gonna hate me when I say this, but I'm gonna say it. Y'all better embrace this. A man can live without a woman, but a woman cannot live without a man.
No, we can't. No, I can't. No, no, Grace, no.
I'm talking.
Nah,
If you're out in the desert
nah.
and I'm out in the desert, you're gonna survive longer than I am.
My boy in the background listen to you. He said, "Hell no, no, no. We want women."
No.
The men said they don't want to live without the ladies. They ain't playing that game.
Yeah,
No.
Nah, not me. Yeah, that's why I ain't never been a friend.
Wait till you meet men that are 50 and 60 and miserable and talking about, I don't need no woman. I'm gonna die alone.
Let him go. Let him go down alone.
Looking for hospice
Ain't
wives.
nobody trying to convert these fools. Just move on. Good day, sir. Good day.
But at the end of the day, Miss Polly's right. Miss Chocolate's right. We just gotta figure out a balance, because at the end of the day, we have to know our role. The men have to know their role, and we have to work together as a team. Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And I digress. My mic is muted. Shout out to Smitty, because that's his, and I'm gonna give him his props.
Right. Listen, I need everybody also to know this. When it's lady time, I need a man to go get me some candy and some food, and I just want to lay on the hot pad and nobody talk to me. That's what I need.
I know
okay?
that's right. Some Midol, some tea,
right,
and don't talk loud.
Yeah, that's it. Treat me right. I don't need no other help.
People.
That's it.
Listen, go call your boy. Y'all go kick you. I'm cool with that. Go for 7 days and call me. I love you. I love you.
Oh, look at this. That's all she needs.
I don't want to hear you breathing. So.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Dang.
Wow.
He might have his own special area. He might have a special
Send
area.
him to the man cave.
Yeah. Go have fun. No, I don't even want to.
Look, she's shaking her head.
My relationship will be over. So that's why I stay single. I have nothing to offer. Continue on. Welcome.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
So
we do need some candy. Yeah.
So, Ms. Polly, you can. Oh, I'll ask a question. All right. So,
what? Okay.
I have a question right here in my phone, so I'll ask it again. So
okay. Well, wait. You got someone else who would like to add to the story first before you move on?
Definitely. No, I'm gonna give the question so everybody caught up and people in the chat caught up. So, our topic tonight is: has the ideology of being a strong black woman ruined relationships? So, I got my sister Melissa here. She can chime in. What's going on, fam?
What's going on, fam? How you doing? I guess that's on me to answer the question. Has the ideology, say it one more time.
Has the ideology of being a strong black woman ruined relationships?
Not the ideology, but the individual who decides to take that on as their main character energy. Does it disturb the balance as we know it or have been programmed or structured to follow the pattern? Absolutely. Is that going to cause confusion? Absolutely. Are we blending gender roles and all those other things that, again, we thought were the only way or the only structure or the only path? Absolutely. So, yeah, it's a lot of confusion. It is causing breakups because people are losing, I think, their confidence or their footing or their structure in their role. I think those lines are so blurred at this point that it's been a very long time since a healthy conversation about it has been had. And everything that you turn on, that you watch, that you participate in or choose to participate in is not too much geared towards relationships and couples and being together. It's more you for you, me for me, get a bag, get the dick, get the whatever. So yeah, I do think it's a little tainted. I'll shut up there.
No. Definitely don't. You go. You know how we do. You know what I mean. Salute to my OG Kareem Bliss Johnson. Make sure y'all like subscribe to the OG Kareem Bliss Johnson. You know, and Mo Love, you have said a lot of different comments. I'm gonna get to these comments too, so that everybody can get, everybody can see what everybody is saying, right? So, all right, let me go back up. Okay, so Mo Love says we are absolutely strong, but having the mindset of never needing a man is not it. Send me mine, Lord. LOL. She also says, I'm tired of pumping gas, LOL. Changing light bulbs and trying to reach things too high at the grocery store. Well, you must be pretty short, Mo Love, if you can't reach some things at the grocery store, sister. I don't know how
Hey,
tall you
please,
are.
some stuff
But
high.
yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Um, so Mo Love also says New York and Italian, yeah, y'all kind of gangster. I mean, we yeah, we do what we do. You know. She said, yes, we do. We need each other. I think she's talking about men and women both. They need us too. Yes, we do. We definitely need y'all. I think she's talking about the bitter old men. They're just bitter, LOL, but they need us. Definitely. Let me see. I got some more comments at the bottom. You know what I mean? Salute to my man, Bryson the Snake Fiend. I see you in the building. You know what I mean? What's going on? What's going on with you? Louisiana's definitely in the building. You know what I mean? I don't know who got an echo, but whoever does, everybody mute themselves. 'Cause I think somebody got an echo. I don't know who it is. Okay. She says, all right. So my follow up question is this, right? So are men intimidated just by women who are strong, right? So women who are strong, are the men just intimidated, right? Do they just need to, instead of being intimidated, embrace, no pun intended, you know what I mean? Embrace the fact that, women are doing their own thing nowadays, right? They got businesses, they got jobs, you know what I mean? They doing their own thing out here. So should men stop being so intimidated and really just accept the fact that women are, doing their thing right now? Miss Polly, I'll let you kick it off. Miss Polly, you there? Hello.
I am here. I'm sorry, I couldn't push the button fast enough. I'm not cool like that. Damn, that's messed up. That's messed up. You gotta do me like that. I'm trying. Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh. What are you
Okay.
thinking, Miss Polly? What you thinking about my
Um,
question?
I'm answering a question again. I don't like how you asked it.
I'm asking, are men intimidated at times by strong women, right?
See, I
So,
don't like that question. You guys, I don't like that.
well, I'm asking a question, right?
Ask it. Okay, ask a different way. Maybe I can understand.
How do you want me to ask it, Miss Polly?
I don't know. You said, are they intimidated by a lady being out of pocket?
No, but the strong black woman, she's strong, right? Are men just intimidated by that?
I don't think you're
Is it the
intimidated by
fact that
something
men are
that's annoying.
intimidated?
That's annoying. That's a fight. I ain't fighting with nobody. That's like me fighting with you about who's gonna lift up the refrigerator. That sounds stupid. It ain't gonna be me. Why am I fighting with you to lift up something? That sounds wild.
So to Electro Jed, I see the OG in the
Nah,
building.
I think that's annoying.
What's up, guys? What's up? How's everyone doing?
Hi.
Doing good,
I'm
doing
not. I'm
good.
not. First off, I'm not fighting with grown
Hi.
men. Let's start with that.
Hi.
Okay.
Ask Grace. Grace don't fight with grown men either. You know.
Well, I actually did some. Yeah, I have been in fights with some men,
No, but
but
not
it
now, Grace. Not in the
no,
past.
not
Not
now.
currently.
No, I'm
Jesus
rehab.
Christ.
I'm rehab now. I'm rehabilitated. I'm good. I'm good.
She
Wrestling.
was a thug. She's not a thug no more. She
Oh,
don't fight
Is
with men.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
I'm both. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The
A
question
little bit
Grace,
of both.
Grace is
is,
now. We're
men,
gonna give
Miss
Grace
Polly,
a new shirt. Her shirt's
let me
gonna say,
ask.
"I'm a lady. I don't fight niggas." Sorry, that's messed up.
So let me
Damn, that's gonna be the merch.
let me ask OG then. So Electro Jed,
yeah.
are men intimidated by strong independent women? You know what I mean? For the most part, what do you think, OG? I'm asking him.
Are men intimidated? Of course. Of course they are, because they have to now figure out. Think about it. They have to figure out. Um, lately, women have been more independent, so they can't sit there and say, "Well, I'm paying all the bills," and I'm, where the women are so independent to the point where men are not needed in that particular area anymore. So of course they're going to be somewhat intimidated, and this is why you need to have a basis of communication, so that y'all can work whatever's going to happen between y'all, and what responsibility each person is going to have in this relationship. Of course, yeah, men are intimidated, and it's not me, because I already know people are going to say that's cucking. No, this is a different time. This is a different time and age. You gotta go with the flow. So yeah, men are intimidated. It's just a
Mm.
fact.
Okay, anybody else can cook that if they want, or they can elaborate on whatever else we just said. Go ahead.
Y'all ready?
Chocolate.
She ready. She
I already
ready.
know.
I'm looking up the definition of it, intimidated too, just to see.
Oh,
Let's talk about it. Let's
Let's
break
talk
it
about it.
down.
That's where we start. I was getting ready to say that. Go ahead, Miss Grace. I love your brain.
Hold on. I thought you were gonna talk, and I was gonna find it while you talking.
But hold on, Grace. You know what? I told somebody else today. I'm done with the play and the semantics. Let's find out what the word means here in America, where we all live. So we're not gonna play. We're not gonna play today.
Mm-hmm.
No, either. We want each other or we don't. We are messed up inside and don't want to tell the truth about it. We think we've
Mm-hmm.
numbed it enough by having material items surrounding us, having a whole bunch of kids, getting married a
Mm-hmm.
whole bunch of times, doing whatever you feel is going to put you in a position of being that looked at. Because see, here's the part, looked at. You are worried about how the world, meaning women and other men of power, and how they see you in this world. It ain't no big bad man walking around talking about I'm corporation or I'm gonna get you. It is what you feel inside about yourself. So now we've gotten into this lazy ass conversation where we paint a broad brush when we know there were so many variables to why we have dysfunction in our relationships. So I'm down to talk about that part of it. But to continue to say, well, if she intimidating cause I can read. I'm intimidating because I can comprehend. You can't even tell me what that means. But I ain't gonna keep going unless somebody else have it. But yeah.
Can I retort on that? My thing is, I hope you didn't think I was saying that in particular.
Not to you, baby. Listen, I understand that there are men who agree with you. And I know that there are men who don't agree with you. See, the killer isn't the loud ones. The killer is the ones that say nothing. The nice guys.
The silencers.
The sneaky ones. The ones that come into your life and, oh my God, you're the most beautiful thing ever. I will never let you go.
My thing is this, right?
Hey, hold on. This is
Oh,
what
sorry.
Chocolate trying to say. I'm gonna say this is what Chocolate trying to tell you. See, this is what she's trying to say. I'm gonna play it right now.
I can't stand you.
You know how many brothers felt uncomfortable when I was like, I'll fly you out. Come on. Come through, stay. You ain't gotta do nothing. We can go shopping when you get here. Do you know what I had grown men saying to me? You making me feel like a bitch. I don't like that. It's insane.
No, you didn't. All right, guys. I got the. Oh, sorry.
No, baby, go ahead. It's true though.
I got the definition here, guys, and this is to be intimidated by someone means feeling frightened, nervous, or lacking confidence in their presence or because of their actions, often due to a perceived threat or power imbalance. Now, this is good because this is, I guess, and this is something that the men will have to share with us. Is this true that a woman can make you feel intimidated? And that way, that's why you don't argue. You rather not confront us. You rather not have those deep conversations. Do we make you feel less capable? Does it make you feel hesitant to act or speak up? I mean, is it really us, or is it y'all lack of confidence?
Grace, you answered your own question. They're not gonna say that to us.
But that's not exactly true, Chocolate, because
Hold on, let me tell
But
you.
look at the definition.
no, I understand what you're saying as far as the
I was gonna
definition.
go, but hold on, sir. I apologize.
No, please, go ahead.
I was on a live earlier. When I ask these questions, like I ask questions based on what I think how men put out. See, they forget they also put out, right? They put out either they scheming or they really trying to be with you or they stalkerish or wait a minute, they just got out. There's several men. I'm just using my experiences. But anywho, I think men are afraid of it. Vulnerability scares men to death. They have taken lives over vulnerability. And you're telling me that these men can easily conceive emotionally enough? They don't want to do that kind of work. It's painful. That's why women talk about it. When they talk about our journeys, when men talk about their journeys, that shit hurts. You got to let things go. You got to start peeling away that pain. We don't have examples of that growing up. Nowhere. Not on TV, not in our music, not in our lives, to be honest, because I didn't never see my other people's friends and family. They weren't affectionate. My people were. My dad would grab my mama and slap her down in a heartbeat. But
wait a minute.
That's normal for everybody? No. But I'm just saying, like, stop blaming us on vulnerability. What is happening is the reason why it has become this fisticuffs is because what we desire, they don't want to provide. And I'm not saying it to hate on men or bash. I'm talking about there's a mental concept going on here. There's a narrative that has to be flipped to give men each other. I'm not even talking about women no more. Men each other a safe space to get this shit off you. But you don't. You fight. You gamble. You take it out on your families. Or you stay alone or become a hermit. And then our society of other men and women expect for a portion of us who want to marry or be in relationships to take that and don't say a word. Not even taking into consideration the mental trauma that it's doing to the person with you. That's a lot of work. And so I know men can do it, but I'm not going to force somebody to come to the conclusion that they're worth having a good woman, a good job, a good education. The only person stopping you is you. If you're like old enough. But I land there. I'm so sorry. Y'all could have butted in. Don't let me rant tonight. Y'all got it.
I love it when you rant. So don't even stress that out. But I am going to say this, like I was saying earlier, and maybe I'm a little unfair because I've been in what I consider a very strong relationship, and I use my relationship a lot as an example. All right, and I use what I've learned a lot as an example, and I just want people to be as happy as me. Now, my situation, maybe not everyone can get into. Maybe not everyone is as either A, as tolerant as me, or B, as open-minded. And I'm not saying that I'm special. I'm just saying I've learned to adjust. I've learned to adjust, especially with the woman that I feel and I know in my heart is my soulmate. So I'll make whatever adjustments without her, having to ask me to change. When you're with somebody that makes you feel a certain way, you want to change and make yourself better and do whatever it takes to make that other person happy. And she does the same for me. So maybe I'm just fortunate enough, and not everybody's that fortunate, because I'm not a greedy person. It's not, for me, it's not about, making money and owning all kinds of property. Do I own my property? Yes. It does it make me happy? Yes. I live in a damn trailer though. I don't care. It makes me happy. I'm in a trailer in my property and my wife and I are happy. We don't need to go into a condo. We don't need to have the 5-bedroom house and 18,000 square
Oh my
feet.
God, this purple's mouse. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was muted.
But so sometimes maybe my view might be just a little either outdated or one-sided. But I use my relationship as an example a lot. And sometimes that it either pisses people off or they say it's unrealistic. But it's what I'm going through, and I try to share it. And maybe other people can find that happiness that I find. So that's why I say the things I say the way that I say them.
I mean,
Now I do. Okay.
Go ahead, Grace. Go ahead.
No, I just want to give a little pushback on what Chocolate said about men and vulnerability. Men have safe spaces. They got their barbershops, they got the locker rooms, they got their homies. But the thing is, we have failed them in setting up a safe space for them because, as you know, and I'm not saying all women, but a lot of women in a heated argument will turn around and throw that shit in a man's face.
That's
when
human. We do that to each other. That's not a man-woman thing. I'm sorry, Grace. Don't do it.
No.
The propaganda has to stop it. It ain't your fault. This has been going on for generations. It's not true. We talk crazy to everybody. You can go crazy on your sister, your brother, your friend, the person at work. It is not a woman-man thing. We are talking about true vulnerability. I have a best friend. She know me in and out. She probably know more stuff than I told my mom. How many men do you know have a ride or die like that in their life that they can go talk to? I'm not going to sit up and talk about I failed. How did I fail you? If you don't talk to me, if you telling me that I failed you, but you won't talk to me about your feelings. So what you want me to do?
Because men feel that there's nothing we can, as men, if they show their vulnerability, but if they show their vulnerability to us, they're not being the protector that they're supposed to be. They're not supposed to add stress to us. They're problem solvers. And I'm not saying all men and women, but it's very prevalent.
But I want to ask you a question, right? Because we out here on these YouTube streets for some years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember listening to you, and I was like, "What the hell is she saying?" But I loved the fact that you said what was on your mind, and that was it. Period.
Uh-huh.
So I can respect that before anything. But this shit that's going on right now, Grace, is some bull. Okay, we are being played. People get married all the time. They in relationships all the time. They can talk to kids all the time. You got relationships with people in war in different countries. Come on, 8 billion people. Grace, are you saying? Hold on real quick.
Sure.
I'll stop. I'm going to ask you a question. I'll pause. I promise. To say that a woman, some woman, because this is what men would say, right? You kind of talking about it like the lady that, we'll say, pretended to get hit with a brick. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. We ain't going to talk about anything else about that, but let's just say damsel in distress. Remember you said it earlier, Grace?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You had to pretend to be a victim to get help, didn't you?
Well, to show femininity, because I get accused of being so masculine. And
for the record, from one masculine sister to another in this society where they've decided to name us that. I'm a woman, sir. I can make children, sir. But I also can build a home, sir. I can cook your meals. I can clean your house. I can lay up underneath you. But when I want to step out and use this that I'm giving just like you, I'm a problem. I'm a threat. You loud. You crazy. You want to be a man. Look in the mirror, yo. Because the problem is you confused. You don't even know what it is to be a man because they can't even explain it to you. It ain't enough representation of it. It hasn't been for 60 years. No shows, no movies, no education, none of that. So where were we supposed to get all this emotional intelligence for each other? We learning this shit. Wasn't nobody talking about no emotional intelligence 20 years ago. You better suck it up. Something happened, suck it up. You want your man, you better take it. I lived with that, Grace. I watched my mother be that woman you talking about, and my father walked all over her. Babies on the side, marriage is on the side, so it don't matter. If
You're right.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. And men can get mad at me and think, oh, she hurt. I'm hurt for y'all because you don't even see that you can't. And excuse me, no pun intended, but you can't even give yourself grace. But you want to point your finger at me. You want to tell us we need to go to therapy. We need to get it together. Y'all need to be submissive. Bruh, if you don't put that list down, that's why you dry. That's why you mad. That's why you in your house behind your computer talking trash about black women. When you don't, because you don't want to deal with yourself. And that ain't just black men. But I'm going to give it to you 100 and I land my plane. Thank y'all very much. I'm going to give people time to speak.
We got the brother, the Brick Sling up in here. Brick Sling, anything you want to add to the conversation, bro?
Good evening, everyone. If anything, just definitely sound like a dope conversation. And I pretty much just jumped in. So if anything, I'm just going to ask, what is the question of the moment? Or the topic of the night.
The topic is, has the ideology of being a strong black woman ruined relationships?
Okay. This is definitely an interesting conversation. Interesting topic too. I will say that it definitely doesn't destroy relationship. It destroys opportunities to grow in relationship, because you can handle it when it comes to dating, but when we talking about marriage and family, I know that traditional roles and gender roles become an issue, because now the term strong in a platform and table for black women sounds like it becomes a badge of honor, but it seems to be a display of negative, because from the outside looking in, as a black man looking at black women become quote unquote strong, it doesn't look like a strong black woman becoming strong in being a woman. It looks like a female version of being a man, and you see it in conversations like this. You see these type of conversation in the manosphere. You don't see this type of conversations in the mainstream level, like The View or The Talk or any type of talk show at this time. Like if you can think about shows like Ricky Lake and Sally and Montel Williams, you'll get those type of conversations, but it won't be as realistic as like it used to be. Now we're back to having these conversations, but these conversations are having in the YouTube lane. So it's hard to see black women become strong when they becoming women. But we see strong women being display of being a female version of dudes. uh, and that can be a problem to some men per se.
Just to add,
Um,
on to that, I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican, so I can only speak for that I know. And I have my mom as an example, very strong Dominican woman. But, I can't sit here and say for black women, I can't, nor would I try. I know what my mom went through, and I know she's a strong woman, but I know that not all of her traits are their best that you can like. She had to do stuff to survive. Just like I know a lot of strong black women had to do shit to survive. But I can't sit here and explain or try to even, express my opinion on how a black woman, is affecting a relationship or the lack thereof, a relationship, or men not being able to communicate. I can't say. So I'm going to be honest with you. I will silence for that part. I can only say what I know, and I'll always share what I know from my point of view with you guys. That's all I can say there.
Hello. I was gonna say, oh, I know, Grace left, but I was gonna say, how we say the idea of the strong woman, or the black strong woman, or whatever. It's just strong women in general. I think I want us to drop the narrative that what we're saying is when we say strong, right? The definition that everyone is doing is based off of being in a state of his masculinity, right? You have this aggression, you're kind of loud, but nobody likes loud ass men either. Like nobody likes the man who's always screaming and yelling, making scenes, and all. Nobody likes that either. So it's no one likes that, because even if you are a man, who wants the guy who's always making the scene, always getting in fights, always acting like that? Trait itself is not desirable. Someone who's always being aggressive, always acting like, that's not something we want. But if we keep putting the idea that we are, we're not the same, if that makes sense. We are, it's like we have different strengths, and being different doesn't mean better. Men and women are different, not one's better. That's how I see it. And when we keep trying to figure out who's better, there's always a problem, because it's like you're comparing the vegetables and the fruit. We're not the same, but we all have good purposes, but we're not the same. So there are things like, for example, is where they say like, men, Grace was just saying, men can survive out in this world by themselves. Okay, yes, on strength. But there are times too where there have been women in situations where they've been out, in mountain areas. I'm just giving out stuff that has happened though. Mountain areas with a baby, and they've drank ice for 14 days in the winter to make sure their child has breast milk, and they made it out of that situation. Not saying with not any help, but there are survival methods that were used. No, she didn't go out and go cut down wood and walk that far, but she used other ways to survive. And so when we're always comparing these vegetables and fruit, we're always like, oh, well, this one would be better because it's not as sweet, or this one would be better because it's savory. You're not going to be dependent on sugar. It's like you're trying to compare two things that are good to each other, and they're different, but not better. So I think that the idea that they're saying like the women who are showing these characteristics of being loud and all these things like that, to that point, is like no one likes that on the man's side either. Like nobody like that shit. Ain't nobody like the loud guy who's making scenes, getting drunk, getting in fights. Nobody like that either. So it, for women though, like you said, with the society that we've been built on, is that women have gone through a long process. I'm sorry, long-winded, but we've gone through a long process to get from the point of looking at us as property And so when you get a voice and you haven't had one in forever, you know, the honest truth, you will see a lot more of them taking those rights on, which can seem like that. But we still want to have the support and love from the people who should support and love us. And I think that's what Chuck was saying. Like, yes, I might be a strong person. I'm making it out here every day. But does that mean you don't help me pump my gas because you see me out here trying to change my goddamn tire? You a lie. Bring your ass over here and pump this gas, and I'm going to put the tire on. It's just, these are something I learned how to put a tire on. Don't push me out the way because you said you were a dude. Come over here and participate. You know, treat me as if you would want to be treated. And that's basically how I think we should be looked at, instead of trying to, you know, oh, she's all. I've heard someone say, don't date a woman who can back into a space. Like, well, come on now. So that woman got good vision. Now she can't be that. Come on now. There's got to be, come on. And those things don't matter. You know what I'm saying? So, it just, to me, it's just silly to compare us and then tell us we don't deserve those things because we are, you know, sometimes maybe louder, and most women aren't trying to be like that. You know, that is a mechanism to some degree. We'll be honest, that's a mechanism to protect ourselves from feeling vulnerable or being taken advantage of. And I know it's not every man, but there are many men who do take the advantage of that, even if they don't stay in that state forever. Remember, you're not bad your whole life, but there's a lot of men when they're younger take advantage of certain situations, and then they grow and want a wife. And that's the problem, is when you're playing around and then you grow up and then you wonder what happened to the women who grew up. They're damaged from the stuff you did earlier. So we got to take accountability on not every, you know, on both sides, everybody. But you have those same women out here who want to be loved and treated the same, even if they a little loud in the grocery store. You know, give them a hug and some candy and pump their gas.
But okay,
Hold on, so real quick. I just wanted to. I don't want to forget.
Go ahead, sis. Go ahead. Anybody else can get in after that. I'll go last.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I just don't want to forget it. Okay, so the last thing you said, Polly, was what? Say that again.
Oh, I said the women who are a little bit more louder, you know, and they still deserve, you know, love and kindness too.
Right. Okay. Perfect. I come from women who are loud. Obviously. My father was in radio, and so, but my mom wasn't loud. She was the complete opposite. My dad was the man of the hour every day, all the time. But I truly want to ask the men, and we can come back to it for real. So I apologize, but this is for the men. Why don't y'all talk about men like that? Why don't men talk about the men that Polly was describing? Do you ever think
which brothers though? Which brothers are you talking about?
There's no such thing as a witch brother, because you can't, unless you can crack his head open and see him immediately, you don't know. He can lie to you too. So, and what I find too is a lot of men usually exaggerate or might not, leave some shit out. I'm not blaming anyone. I don't care where I go. You want to go with me? Then come on. If not, you can stand to the side. Look, again, it comes back to self-worth. How is this man who, like Polly described, who is more than y'all want to admit? Yeah, we're not talking about clothes and cars and 401ks. That is delusion. That's the delusion, because it can be gone tomorrow. We're talking about you laying in this bed every day with this person. You eating their food, you cooking for this person, and you are miserable. Why? Because you know this ain't it. Some people are lucky enough and blessed enough to find it, and I celebrate that. But if you are not okay up here, you can't put no ring on nobody's finger. Again, it goes back, how are we supposed to know if they don't want to tell us? I'm supposed to jump on top of him and say, you better tell me your emotions.
All right, my thing is,
go ahead, OG, go ahead.
relationships are work. Relationships are work. You can't just expect it to be handed to you. No, not one
No
way.
said that. Nobody said that. I
No,
think
no, no. Let me get the point across so you can see what I'm talking about. Um, you're going to run into people that aren't used to communicating, and you have to work at communication. You have to build that trust. The trust is not going to come there automatically. You have to work at it. A relationship is work, and if you don't want to put the work in, and you just lay there, and you feel like they're settling, and you're not getting then work at getting that information out of them. It's work. It takes a lot of effort. You have to put the work in to get the results out, and that goes on both sides. If a man truly wants to be with a woman,
and yes, I'm being
do
rude.
whatever it takes.
What if you don't know how to do
I
it?
think I'm gonna just, if you don't mind, let me help. Just say, I
Sure,
think
you
I know what
got
you're
it.
saying. I think what she's saying, we're not talking about the men and women who get together and there's some issues. I think what she's saying is that there's a lot of women who want to be wives, who want to be loved. A lot of women have been brought up in that vision, regardless of the match. Or y'all say, oh, they ain't trying to give, but a lot of them, the dream of being married to a husband and stuff like that, or getting with someone and loving them, that is happens to a young lady, even if they out here acting out. And so when they go out here and they say, oh, this guy came up to me, approach me, say he likes me, a lot of times, because men are shown this when they're young, is to, you go out there and you knock down as many as possible because you're young and all
There you
that.
go.
And so it's fool. What happens is they're fooling us. They put on a mask and tell you all the love stories while they take your virginity and they do all this. You think that's your husband? No, that ain't your husband. He didn't even want you. He just wanted to touch you because he thought you were cute. And you're thinking this is someone I'm supposed to be with. And then these relationships go on for long periods of time. There are men who will be in relationships with women for years and years, knowing that they really don't like this person, but when they have an opportunity or another woman comes around that they're actually interested in, they will leave them. And I think what she's asking is, why, as men, do you guys think it's all right to, when you're younger, or even not younger, when you're younger, to get into relationships with women, knowing that the intention is just sexual, and never advising them it's just sexual, saying the sneaky link and all those are ways to get in women's pants. And then when women fall into the trap, you say, oh, it's the woman's fault. But the real problem is you're asking us why we're falling for a trap that's set by a hunter.
Hold on. Wait,
You know
no,
what I'm
hold
saying?
on. We not. Wait, hold on.
No,
We're not.
it is. No, you can't. No,
Wait,
it is.
hold
It's
on.
not. This is
Hold
analogy, but for
on.
real, you
So this
guys,
is a
y'all,
Facebook
you know,
podcast.
men out here tell a girl
Hold on,
she's
Miss
pretty
Holly. Hold
so
on,
she
no,
can
because
get in her pants.
you're not gonna sit up here and act
Yeah.
like it's y'all
Okay.
that's victimized. We're not doing that.
Okay.
We're not doing
No,
that.
we're right. We're
Hold on.
not victimized because we
on.
believe
Hold on.
we're
Hold
taught
on.
to believe the truth.
Hold on. Make
We're
it
taught
plain.
to, hey, a man out there wants to love you, girl. You just gotta find the right man. Our women do not teach us, hey, we'll tell them, oh yeah, they're gonna tell you anything, get in your pants. But this man will say, no, I'm not like that. I really am into you. And some guys will put in so much motherfucking effort. They put in
Okay,
a
but
lot of effort,
that's
and
part of
once
the
they
game.
get
You
it,
gotta
they
charge
throw
us
it
the game.
away because
You gotta charge us
it
for the
was a
game.
scam. And you guys as men, you do promote hit. Hey, go out and get them all. Get as many as you get, man. And when you
All
ready,
right, and
you
there's women
find
that
your wife.
promote that. Hold on.
Yeah,
No, Miss
no,
Clark.
there's men who do
There's
promote
women
that.
that promote. There's women that promote getting men and using them for money and all type of stuff and
True.
setting them up and all that. We're not gonna do this victim thing. We're not doing that. No.
That's
At the
not
end
what
of
we're
the day,
talking about. You're
no,
changing the
no, but
narrative.
if you're
That's
talking,
not what we're talking
but Miss
about.
Polly,
We're
if you're
talking
gonna talk
about
about this
men who
part of the game,
purposely
you
go
gotta talk
out
about the whole
here.
part of the game.
No,
Excuse
You
me.
you're
can't just make it
changing it.
seem
You're changing it
that men
because
didn't
you
get
don't want to
played.
hear one side.
Hold
We can talk about women. We can talk about women now. Okay, there's women out here who are told, hey, all the man's gonna do is want to get you for your pussy. So at this point, what you should do is go ahead and sell that bitch because he's gonna get it either way. He's gonna either talk you out your drawers, then you're gonna give it up, and you're gonna be left with shit. And then that's what women tell us. That's what when girls get told by
Okay,
ignorant
so
other women.
we both
That's what
agreeing
they
on
get
those
told.
things.
The women who are ghetto,
Okay.
all the ghetto, all that, take a man's money. I'm telling you, those women, you ask any of those women, I'm telling you, I know that those women are going to tell you what they're gonna tell you
Hey, what's
is
good?
that another woman told them
Linda
that
W, what's up?
if they don't give it out, if first off, if they do give it out, right? So a man's gonna they're gonna get it either by telling you all the love stories, and then they're gonna get it and they might go and run off. Or then you can get it and at least you get something out of it that you have at the end of the day. And that's what these women are saying, that if you don't understand that, it's very clear. It's very clear. That's what they're saying.
Listen. There are many times where, and listen, I'll be getting on the brothers too, okay? That's why I threw up the whole media thing with Chocolate, right? And I'm gonna play that media thing that Chocolate did again. I'm gonna play.
But not all men. I'm not saying all men. You're getting offended. It's not all men.
No, I'm not getting offended. Miss Polly, it's me.
Please,
you know I don't get offended at nothing. But okay, I'm gonna let you go, Chocolate. Hold on, we got more people on the panel. I'm gonna let everybody.
I know, but I don't want it to be something
no,
that.
Chocolate, you good. Let me just say this. I'm gonna land my plane. I'm gonna let y'all rock. You know I don't really talk that much. I'm gonna let y'all rock. Salute to everybody checking in and coming through, man. I appreciate all 24 of y'all coming through and showing love, for real. And if you want to be a part of the panel, I'm about to drop the link again so you can come up and speak your piece, right? You know what I mean? The topic is the ideology of being a strong black woman destroying relationships. That is the topic, okay? That's what we're talking about. My whole thing is this, right? This is what I'm saying. And I get on the brothers too. Y'all know I get on the brothers on my panels, right? Y'all know that for a fact. OG in the building. OG, what up? What up,
no,
OG?
we ain't letting him talk. No, I'm joking.
Nah, we definitely let him talk.
I'm just messing with you, Jerk. I'm just messing with you.
This is what I'm saying, though.
Sure.
Everybody got to go through the game, right? Women get played. So we can't just say here and just say that women go through this whole thing. Men go through stuff.
That's not what we.
But we weren't talking about men today. We're not talking about men today. She asked the question. She said, "Why do men do that?" That's what she asked. Why do men do that? Answer that question. Why do men do that? Why do men do that?
I simplify.
Why?
I just asked.
I had a reply. And I really would like to get that in there.
Chocolate, go ahead and then
Chocolate just asked the question: why do men go out here and be with women they don't want to be with in their youth over and over again? Why they trick them out of giving their virginity up, knowing they only want to be with them for 3 months, knowing want to be with 6, and they don't tell them that? And the answer is, most of the time, is that, I won't get any play, so I have to lie. There are men saying that all the time. So where we at? Why y'all do that? You can't tell me why.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to say why, but you guys got to understand that's bad parenting.
Let them say it. Let them say it, Chocolate.
That's bad. That's bad parenting. That's the irresponsible parenting. Not showing and not talking to their boys about what is expected of a boy and what, if you got a parent that doesn't care that a boy goes out there and gets as much, then that's bad parenting. That's the parent not taking responsibility, not showing that child that you don't go out and take advantage. I have a niece that I'm going through this with right now. She got with this boy, and I told her, listen, you deserve the best, so you should get the best, but you got to treat them good. This boy convinced her to give her prize. All right. And when I got a chance to talk to this boy, I can hear it in his voice. He doesn't care. He wanted what he wanted. That's bad parenting. Straight. No bullshit. No fat on that. It's bad parenting.
So basically, you're saying that men are telling other men to go out there and bang up every little thing they can until, like I said, until they're ready to find a wife. Like we just
and you're
said,
supposed to be a virgin, though. That's why we still talk about body count in 2025. But y'all want to pretend like you missed my question. I don't care about what happens once you in a relationship. All I ask is this: do y'all talk to y'all brothers? How is it my fault that these dudes is inept? That
you're under the impression
available.
You're under the impression that these men talk to each other online and they're truthful with each other. And I'm going to tell you right now, they are not truthful with each other.
That's a fact.
All the time about exposing each other.
No. These men are not truthful with each other one bit, because all they do is they want to prove that they're better than the next guy, and they do it on YouTube. It's so easy. On YouTube, it's so easy to do that.
No, this been happening off YouTube. Don't blame YouTube.
No, I'm just saying that's what's going on YouTube right now.
What is you talking about?
I'm talking about what's going on right now, and nobody's on it.
Teenagers. Quit playing. We ain't talking to no damn kids. We are talking to people that got passports and mortgages, people that got kids. And it is still the same way. Yes, everything you say, I agree. Once a relationship happens, I know it's work, bruh. I've been in 4, engaged twice. I kept trying. I kept being that woman y'all describe y'all want. That's why. I know so well. My mama raised me. Now hold on. My mama raised me like a lot of women in my era. Still, because the boomers were still the silent generation still alive. These are my grandparents. My grandfather did everything for my grandmother. My grandmother had a choice to work. He made sure that they stayed in the same house for over 50-something years. He raised all 10 of his kids in that house. You are not. I don't praise that. Because you know how old they were when they started? 15 and 21. So we're still dealing with that today. If y'all want young women, go get them. But stop playing in our faces. We too dominant. We too this. We got to jump this rope. You need to turn around and scratch your back and understand. Understand what? That you can't understand yourself? I ain't asking you to understand me. You ask questions, but you don't want the answers.
Salute to the homie Dark Lake. I see you in the building.
And I'm not mad.
Chocolate. Let me answer your question. Let me answer my question. And I want to get everybody involved. SJ, you next, bro. Right? This is my thing. Because I know he's gonna like
appreciate you.
So
what's up,
he's
Jay?
definitely going next. Listen,
I'm
gonna answer the question. All right. If a man is not in a committed relationship with you, right? And he's not with you, it is what it is. All right. Y'all may not like it. You may not like what I'm saying. But if he's not your man, and y'all done messed around or whatever else, that's on both of y'all. That's on him and on you. Right? And that's just what it is. So you cannot be mad if you give him your goodies to a dude and he not your dude.
Stop. So
no, I'm not stopping. That's the truth.
They lie and say they're your man. They lie and say they're your man until they don't want to be your man.
Wait, hold on.
That's a fact, 84. 84 is sitting at fire right now.
Hold on.
What are you talking about?
Hold on.
Oh, he didn't
just like hold on. Just like women can be deceived. Hold on. Just like women can be deceived. Men can be deceived too.
We're
People
not
can be
talking
deceived.
about us tonight. We want to ask y'all. Dig into
I'm answering your question. You don't want to hear what I'm saying.
You're telling me
yes,
about
I am.
About this. No. How many times have you told your dude, hey man, go get your mental checked? And I'm not saying you personally.
Of course I've done that.
Exactly, because you are you, just like I am me or me, right? Y'all talk about this anecdotal, right? But anecdotal, the more and more it is, you have a majority. Well, let's stop pretending. This is not about chivalry. This is not about the Bible. This is about people not being able to connect.
Why she brought the Lord into the Bible?
Don't make me give you the finger.
I love chocolate. Chocolate, no. Hey, let me tell you something.
Don't say that shit no more. Cut it out. My
vagina. We can sit in the
vagina.
for like 4 or 5 hours, me and chocolate. Like literally, we can sit and talk like
that's
about
how I
5
know.
hours straight.
And ain't nobody spit it ain't nothing crazy. Can't nobody be like, oh wow. I've always had male friends. But you know who always had a problem with it? And then I'll jump down. Who had a problem with my male friends for years? I knew
probably your boyfriend.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Who's that on? Wait. Who do you put that on? Do you put that on
him?
You put that that's where it belongs. And something you kept saying earlier. All right, that bothered me. Why are you changing to impress somebody else? Why don't you just you, Miss Chocolate?
Oh no,
yeah, you said it. You just said it. We can rewind it just a couple minutes ago. Well, you said I've done this. I've been that woman for this guy.
Yes.
Why? Why not just be you?
You just be you. I was indoctrinated. What you gonna? My parents? You told my parents what to do?
No. I'm saying be you. Be the person you're comfortable with.
Nobody just started doing. We are adults just coming into being our own. Our parents wasn't on this shit. Emotions and feelings. This why we crazy now.
This is a new day and age. We gotta roll with the punches, Chocolate. we have to roll with the punches, and we got to learn. And
That is
You
a
two
fact.
are. You guys are. You guys. You know you're not talking about the same subject, right? He's asking. No, he's asking you why you said that, and the reason why she said that, she's talking about in the past. She was that particular kind of woman. She is no longer that woman now. That's what she was saying.
Hold on, let's get our brother SJ up in
Oh
here.
yeah, yes, please.
Go ahead, OG.
Oh man, shout out to everybody, man. Good conversation. But I definitely heard some victim shit going on earlier. So no, I think you can't blame your parents for the bad decisions you make, you know, man or woman.
Oh my God.
Because I think a lot of times, man, there's a lot of people. We were talking about this, I think, last week, M3 and us, and my wife had a female friend that came to the house, and she was about to go on this trip with this one guy to Vegas. And I was like, hey, don't go. He sounds like he's trying to mislead you with the money. Guess what she did? She went anyways, ignored everything. Like 6 months down the line, she found out like he had like 2 like sets of families that he was like going in between. But I was like spotting out all the red flags and stuff. So I think in everybody's life, people point out stuff. People just do what they want to do. So it's not a parent issue. I just think people ignore red flags because they jump on attraction, whatever they're attracted to at that point, and that's really what it is.
Ask your question. Ask your question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who taught you about dating as a child, as a teenager? We're gonna go teenager. So I'm talking about purely much impressionable 16 to 18 years old. Where did you
I say nobody really taught me. I think I just observed, what was kind of going on.
Right. No real representation, just your own research, right? Right?
Yeah, but I don't think it's that complex
No,
where you need to be taught.
Yes, it is. Because again, when we talk about, think about these. Who is the first black family you think about on TV? Everybody. Say the first one. The first one you think.
The
Cosby Show.
Okay, one.
Good Cosby Show.
Go.
Good times.
Okay, go.
Good time. Yeah,
Ooh,
good
Grace is
time.
my favorite.
Go.
Huxtables.
Somebody, yeah. So okay, we got 2 for the Huxtables. Go ahead.
Melissa, what you said, family? What you said?
I said the same thing. I said the Huxtables, Sanford and Son, but they didn't have kids. That was just the father and son. But as far as like families, there aren't a lot of black families that don't project the black family stereotype, with every role also fulfilling a black stereotype. The boy is always either dumb or a hood rat, or trying to find his identity amongst a culture of people that don't accept him. The father is either a hard worker or no good, or he's intimidating, or he's made to be weak, and the wife runs over top of him. It's all types of scenarios that kind of play out that I think are stereotypical. But to say, do we have a strong, solid representation on television that I can recollect, besides like Good Times, and even they had their, you know what I mean? The Huxtables, I think, was the only time you didn't see them cheating, honestly. It could be unless I'm lying, because
Nah, you ain't lying. You're not lying.
If it was past 46 years ago, I ain't sure.
But that's what I'm saying.
Anything down to your soap operas.
Oh
yeah.
God, thank you for saying so. How long ago was this?
I'm 46.
Not you. I mean, not age-wise, but how long ago are these shows that we talking about? Not one was new.
That's
not one was new.
Yeah.
Not one. Not one. I rest my case. I'm good. I'm about to have me a smoke break. I'll be here. No
I forgot about Family Matters.
Oh, be the Don, the king of the
Yes, I do. I did forget about Family Matter. Family Matters.
That was a very positive.
Prince of Bel-Air.
But why make the son a complete idiot and make the neighbor the stronger or more intelligent role? That's all I meant by saying that some of the roles, I'm not saying that the overall show wasn't good, but what I am saying is that as time progressed, the way that roles were characterized, I think, fit more into a stereotype, which is why I also feel like, and this is no offense to anybody's, hey, I'm all team Lickalotopus. Y'all do your thing. But with that being said, that's why now where the narrative is, I'm sorry. Let me get in something. Let me be direct. I think in the where it is now a fad for some to be boy, girl, girl. Oh, that's popular. It's a trendy thing. So let's throw it on social media. So now even the structure of the family, the way that we see it is completely different. You can't even find a TV show right now that doesn't have a character of some type of sexual, bisexual, or you know what I mean? It's projected that way, unfortunately. I'll shut up off that.
Don't ever shut up. Tokens. We are tokens.
Hold on, family. Hold on, real quick. I gotta say this. So, Miss Polly and M3, can y'all just run it real quick? I'm just heating up my phone.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Okay.
So, Chocolate, when you was bringing that up, what was the connection you was making to?
It's a disconnect where we are lack of empathy within our own culture because we don't know what the fuck we do. We have been raised in so many different paths in this country. I'm talking about right here. I'm not talking about nobody else. I'm talking about Black American children in the 80s and the 90s. Stop playing. We have broken, hurt, lost folk, men and women both. It's not that it's one pointing at the other. The vulnerability is supposed to be, I lean on you, you lean on me, and we able to fight this shit together. But no, you put shit in front of it. Oh, you got to be feminine. You're not feminine enough. You can't even give me a definition. Washing dishes and giving you a sandwich. We'll hire someone. And if you can't, then I'm going to move on. Because if that's all you see of me, walk away. But you don't. And then blame us because y'all don't know how to love us. We have been taught as women growing up in this country that all it takes is you being a good girl. Keep your legs closed. Smile bright. Don't make your man mad. Pick his peace. Have his children cook his meal. If he cheats, oh no, that's okay. He's going to come back to me. Oh, did he? Did I get a concussion? Oh, God, no.
I'm fucking dying over here. I love you, Chocolate. That's a commercial right there. That's a Summer's Eve's commercial. Did you guys? That's Summer's Eve's right there.
That's how we were raised. Then I was put the coup de grace on it. Pastors and cops. That's who I was raised around. And all of them cheated. I got cousins everywhere. Don't mean shit. So that's why I said it's here. It's here. Not enough of y'all are taking care of what's here. That pain, that trauma, that not feeling good enough, that not self-worth, and then to turn around and point at me and tell me it's my fault, bro. Hey, I'm gonna need you to go get a pizza and find someone else to talk. So I'll let y'all got it. Thank y'all. Y'all know I appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Chocolate Earth.
I got as Jay, I'm the one that said that problem starts with parenting, and I got to respectfully disagree with you. A lot of the problem for me does come from parenting. I take full responsibility for how my children act. You know, I take full responsibility. If my child is going out there, if one of my boys, I got 3 boys and 1 girl. If one of my boys goes out there and just goes crazy and gets all kinds, he's going to hear it from me because I didn't set that example.
What about he going to school? Does he have activities? Does he have friends?
Oh, I know school and friends influence what a lot of young kids do. I get that. But I was one of those parents that you better be by yourself than with bad company because it's better to be by yourself.
There are a lot of parents who aren't, sir.
But I understand that, but see, you're taking
about how we can fix that part. It is not against any man up here. If you wasn't about right, you wouldn't even be up here. If you wasn't about understanding women in some kind of way or being comfortable enough as a man to have a conversation with a woman without it being something sexual or aggressive, I give that respect to you. I agree it's parenting, but it's also nurture and nature. Television. You sat here and just heard all of us say the same shows. No representation. If the parents ain't there because they working 2 jobs, because I'm talking about my community. Because there was an era of time between the 80s and the 90s that you had to work 2 parent homes, sometimes 2, 3 jobs. You hear people talk about that all the time. My mama worked all the time. And we want to sit here and pretend that we didn't come from either kind of rocky, maybe broken, and that's okay. See, that's what's the vulnerable part. You don't want to say.
But Chocolate, after a certain period of time, Chocolate, after a certain, sorry.
Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry, I had a little delay. You got it.
After a certain period of time, we are responsible for our own decisions and our own.
That's
After a certain period of time. Now, my thing is this. With age comes wisdom. And it's unfortunate. Listen, it's unfortunate that some motherfuckers just don't get it until it's too late. It's just they just don't get it until it's too late.
And that's why when you leave, that's why women leave. If you're not gonna appreciate me, I
don't blame you for leaving. I don't blame you for leaving.
It's not about blaming, babe.
No, but I'm just saying, as a general statement, I don't blame you for leaving. But
we don't. Y'all afraid to talk about why y'all behave the way that you do. You want to turn it on us.
I think it's more open now than it was 20 years ago.
No. That's not what I'm talking about, baby.
I think men share their feelings a little more than they used to. They don't share it enough, but they still. I think it's more open now.
If it was, then why are we talking about it?
Because it's not a perfect society.
It's not about being perfect. That's a cop-out.
No, it's not a cop-out. That's a fact. It's not perfect. You're gonna find infidelities. You're going to find.
Yes, the definition is you're human and you can be and you're fallible and you're fragile and you're indecisive. Yes. But what we're talking about right now is this: relationships, being able to articulate. And I don't mean you gotta sound like me. I'm saying you can't talk to me. Write it down. Shit, write a letter. Say something. It's said. No. Hold on. Choose. I'm gonna land on this. Y'all brothers. Y'all need to choose better. That's all I
no. See,
that's
a cop-out. That's a cop-out. That's a cop-out. Don't do that.
That ain't my job.
Get a 100.
Let me tell you something. I done had crazy come to me all week. Come on, baby. Let's go.
Chocolate, I ain't gonna lie to you. You ain't stopped the brakes on nothing, so you putting a lot of conversations together right now. Because it's not like you're making invalid points, but you're using a valid point against something someone's not saying. So I'm confused as to what we're
because he thinks I'm disagreeing with him and I wasn't. I just was saying add on to it. Let's look at the next layer. Okay, parents, representation. That's why I asked everybody, when we talk about the Black nuclear family, y'all all named off the same things. But this shit is from the 80s and the 90s. We have nothing now. But then you're going to blame our kids and go, oh, they crazy. What's the representation?
That's not true. But that's not true because I grew up on shows like My Wife and Kids. I grew up on a different world. Okay, but see, it's a general. Y'all gave generational answers. Okay,
no,
I didn't watch Sanford and Son. That wasn't my time. Okay. Good Times. That wasn't my time. So what I'm saying is, y'all gave some.
Hold up. So I ain't want to catch an old lady stray. I know I'm old. It's cool.
My apologies. That's not what I intended. What I'm saying
is catching all kinds of old man strays.
Okay,
look, guys. Once your watch is still talking, y'all give him the respect and let him finish his piece. Go ahead, Watts.
What I'm saying is, I'm specifically what we're talking about. Because if we're talking about the Black family, then okay, then let's talk about that. But then what does representation have to do? Like, I don't like when TV has to do with why a man and a woman are not in the same house together. Like, why does TV have to do with that? I'm not understanding what those two things have to do with each other.
Guys, can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's just a yes or no. We can talk about it later, but I'm going to go around the panel. I'm going to start with Miss Polly. Miss Polly, do you think men and women are equal?
Absolutely. No, we're different.
Okay. M3, do you think men and women are equal?
Oh, never.
Okay. Well, damn, you ain't got Miss Chocolate. Are men and women equal?
Hell no.
SJ, do you think men and women are equal?
No.
Okay, Mr. 100 Watts, nice to meet you. Do you think men and women are equal?
No, no. I almost said yes just to be an asshole, but
I already know that you were gonna say. I already know how
Go ahead,
you
Jen. I was
feel.
about to go
But
there too.
Bess, do you think women and men are equal?
Yes.
Me, I don't think men and women are equal. Mr. Brickslinger, do you think men and women are equal?
No.
What kind of brick you sling?
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My dear Miss Malaysia, do you think men and women are equal? Can you hear?
No.
Did you say something?
No, I don't.
Okay. And I can't see your name. Sir, do you think men and women are equal?
You can call me Jed, but no, not
Okay.
not completely. No.
Okay. So, with that being said, now that we've established around this whole panel that we said men and women are not equal, and I know the women are not going to like what I'm going to say, but you cannot, if you just agreed that men and women are not equal, then you cannot expect to move like a man, and men don't move like women. It is double standard, and I know it sucks, but men are not supposed to act like women. Women are supposed to stay pure and not have a high body count, whereas men, it's different for them. It's in their nature. It's in their DNA. And the problem that we have as women is that we expect men to act like us. And we just all agreed on this panel that we are not the same. So why do you expect men to act the same like us? My bad. There was Bess. Bess was the first one, the only one that said that men and women are equal. But so that's the whole point of me opening up that question and getting everybody's answer. If everybody but Best agree that men and women are not equal, that means that we're not going to move, think, act the same because we are not the same. Now, you guys can now break it down if you want, but I just wanted to put that out there because first you asked the question and now we break it down. We all agree that men and women are not the same. We cannot expect to move the same. Yes, if a girl has a body count of 50, she a hoe. If a man has a body count of 50, he the man. It's different. And that's how it is, ladies. I mean, how many wives did men have in the Bible? And it was okay. We're not expected to be the same, guys, and we just gotta do our job and our job description as a woman while the man does theirs. I digress. My mic is muted.
That is a loaded question, though.
I'll wait.
Where you find that at? I mean, it's the spring. Y'all get a husband until winter. So where I go with that?
Dark Lake.
What's up, Dark Lake?
Sophisticated, everybody. Go ahead.
All jokes. And Grace, let me ask you a question. You coming from a biblical sense? You coming from more of a religious stance when you talk about?
I'm coming from there and how I grew up. I grew up with a mother and a father, and I saw what my mother did, what my father did. You know,
life, right? This was something that influenced your choices, right? You
absolutely. All I heard from my daddy every day, your body is a temple, your body is a temple, your body is a temple. I didn't even get pregnant until I was 30 years old and didn't even know. The guy had to tell me.
Fine. She said, fine. Parents say, okay, this or that, I got you. But when you say stuff to your kids like, I ain't fattening up no frogs for no snakes. What the fuck? So you telling me that you ain't gonna do nothing to get me to make sure I meet somebody that's gonna take advantage. This is why I was saying, and this is what frustrates me. Y'all pretend like this relationships were presented to us in a positive way. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so let's peel the onion one more layer. Okay.
Dark Lake, I love it. Grace, we can come back to it. I'm just saying based on what you're saying. Again,
okay.
Representation. And we can come back to it. Go ahead. You got it. I'm sorry. Just made me think.
Does anybody want to build on that? I mean, that's why I asked that question. And then when we can build on that, because I want to hear what everybody thoughts. Everybody except for Bess thought that men and women are not equal. So why are we all expected to act the same?
My perspective, I can only explain my perspective because everybody gave an answer according to their perspective. And I'm going to go and say that we are not all on the same wavelength. Obviously, we're not clones. So from my perspective, men and women are not equal. Hence the reason we're having this discussion in general. I agree that there's a disconnect. I agree that there are some places where we can bridge a gap. I definitely don't want an identical male twin of myself. So yeah, I'm definitely not looking for Melissa, Mr. Melissa. I definitely need him to be his own, you know. So there are parts of that, but there are parts of that due to tradition and growing up in church. I do understand your perspective as well and don't disagree 100%. There are perspectives that do come from that. However, as everybody has evolved, as this is turning into its own sitcoms and
yes, times have changed,
perspectives and all that other stuff. Then yeah, I just feel like people have different perspectives, but that's the one I'm coming from.
Awesome. Anybody else want to build on that?
Sure. I'm just going to speak on two things. One, I've heard the word vulnerability being mentioned multiple times. The reason why men don't speak on vulnerability, especially towards women.
Here it goes, ladies, listen.
It's because the definition of vulnerable is to be open to be attacked. You ask any man.
And what do we do in the heat of a moment in an argument? We the first ones, most of us, not all. Let me use my verbiage. And men do it too, but we are most guilty of it. We throw shit in their face in the heat of anger.
They don't throw shit in our face.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
But she just said
I don't care because she said both people do it. I'm tired of hearing this excuse. Learn how to be okay with yourself. It still comes back down to it.
But that's
if you don't want to be vulnerable, then why do y'all talk to women? Like, why do y'all bother? What do y'all?
They talk to women for sex, food, and inspiration, not for their problems to be solved. Men will solve their own problems within other men. It is not.
Because
yeah,
it's
we.
not that deep.
Right.
It's not
for men. For men. We're the ones that women like to communicate. Men desire comprehension. It's a difference. They want to get to the meat of the sandwich. They don't like all that yippity yap. We're too long-winded. We talk too much sometimes. You know, they just want to hear the problem, and while you're talking and telling them the third episode of what happened at work, they're already working on the solution. They're already working on things of what to tell you or how to solve it and things like that. But us women, we want to talk for 2 hours. We want to do this. Men are not built like that. Men want the problem. They're going to get the solution and keep it moving. And I learned that from being around men. What's the problem?
Grace, you took the words right out my mouth. That's what I came up here to say.
Well, that's because we're fam, Brick Slinger. That's because we fam. My great mindsets think alike. But you see, I would be considered a pick-me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm talking the way I am. I would be considered a ass kisser of men and all that. And it's not that. It's that I value men. I appreciate men. I recognize the importance of men in this world. And most women are not raised. Most women are raised, men ain't shit. You don't need a man. You don't need this. You can do it all by yourself, girl. Single motherhood is great. You don't need no man in the house. No. No.
Also, Grace, also, let's keep this in mind. It's already hard for us to, as men, to express emotion. And it's not just because we never taught to be emotional, because we all know how to be happy when it's time to be happy. We know how to celebrate when it's time to celebrate. But when it comes to the opposite of being happy, if the woman that we put our love and trust and respect and do whatever we can to protect and provide for them, if the women that we profess our love to, for some reason, even though they'd be the first one to ask the dude, talk to me. Can you talk to me? Can you tell me your feelings? The very first two statements that comes out of our mouth as soon as we become emotional, whether we express how bad our job is, express how terrible our bosses are, and terrible our co-workers are, or terrible about particular females that we interact with, even in relationship. The very first two statements get acknowledged before the whole paragraph be read or heard. That's when it be determined if she's really listening or not.
Rick Slinger, you mind repeating that one more time? I'm sorry.
No problem. I said, for us men to be quote unquote vulnerable, if we're trying to be open to the woman that we profess our love to, the one we provide for, the one we protect, if the first two statements being heard from a woman, then as opposed to a whole paragraph of essays of what's really bothering us, if the first two statements being heard over everything else, that really determines how much a woman is really paying attention to from a man's perspective. And if she's going to determine whether she want to listen to, because sometimes women want to solve the problem just as much as men want to solve the problems, but they want to solve the problem from the emotional perspective, not a logical perspective. If men become more open towards women, and women don't comprehend it, then we go back to listening to talk to our friends, or we go to the gym, or we go to the strip club, whatever the case may be, to get the solution that we're really looking for. Because if we can't be all vulnerable in our own home, where can we go? Who do we really talk to?
Is that what
you go to God? A man's supposed to go to God. He gets his guidance from God. Okay? And then he leads the woman because he's being led by God. The children belongs to the women belong to the men, and the men belong to God. So if you get you a God-fearing man with integrity, and he's following God, then the woman will be under their covering and be led and guided by the leader of the house. Yes, women have a say. I'm not saying here, guys, that we're going to be pregnant and barefoot and that. No, but the thing is, we don't allow men to lead and be the men. We're too busy trying to be the man. We are, and I'm guilty of it as too. I'm not pointing fingers, guys. I'm guilty of it as too. I got accused of being too controlling, and I told my ex-husband, well, if you allow me to have all the control, then of course I'm going to be in control. That's an oxymoron.
I think some of that is a lack of trust.
I think. Thank you. Thank you very much. I just said that to my friend.
If I say all the time, and this may be wrong, but this is again my perspective. If I could find someone who was willing to unlace and take my boots off so I could take my pants off, I would love to walk around in heels and a skirt. I have not run into that individual, which means that in the meantime, this is the uniform I got, and
I get it.
To take it off.
Melissa, don't you see that? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's not that I'm looking to match boots or go to a boots on the ground park. Hopefully I have Spurs on the back of mine, or they have razzle dazzle on them, so you know they're girl boots. But what I'm saying is I would love to take these shits off and put some heels and a skirt on. You know what I mean? Get the breeze between my thigh meat, whatever. But I can't, because I haven't found a safe space where, figuratively speaking, and it's just probably the poetry in me, that somebody has said you know, in a parable, hey, sit down, let me take these boots off. So I could be like, bet, let me take your boots off. You want your feet rubbed too? That's where I'm at. But I haven't.
Melissa, may I add something or expound upon what you're saying real quick?
Sure, I'm done.
Oh, okay. And how's everyone doing? Sophisticated Jerk, man. It's been a long time. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Good seeing
I
you.
I want to catch up with you, man. There's been a lot of updates. M3, Mr. Best in the World, Grace, everybody, Miss Polly, Chocolate, Electro. How you doing, man? The thing is, what you were just saying, Melissa, is a part of the problem. See, we also have to acknowledge the fact that the past 3-4 generations of people in general, men and women, have undergone conditioning, right, of the modern Western world, which is what our foremothers and forefathers did not have to undergo, right? So the thing about it is, these last 3-4 generations were taught we're equal, and it's actually disrespectful or wrong, right, to not treat a woman as such, or vice versa. So when you say something like, I need to find the right guy where I could take the boots off and put on the skirt and wear the heels, right? In this generation, it's not going to translate. It's not.
Hold on, I just want to be clear. I said I lack the trust. So I need to be able to trust someone, not I'm looking for some. I said I haven't found a safe space to trust that process.
Right. And you right. And you use the term safe space, right? The thing about it is, since a lot of people today, and this is just my opinion, since a lot of people today are conditioned to see each other as equal, right? See, for men, it's like we don't have the luxury of needing a safe space to be men. We just have to it's a constant. We just have to be a man. Whatever definition that wait, 1 second, Chocolate. Wait, 1 second, Chocolate. Whatever definition that entails, just like the one that you were using, right? A man who's willing to allow you to be a woman, to be feminine, to wear the skirt and the heels. So the thing about it is, it's like a lot of dudes are thinking today, they got to be in a safe space to be women. Now, not saying that it doesn't make sense. I get what you're saying, and it makes sense. It's like logical, right? You have to feel secure, right? And trust that man to know that you can let yourself go and be the supporting feminine women you want to be, right? But because people are, in my opinion, because people are conditioned in a way where I have to view you as my equal, it's like, why in the world do you need a safe space to just be what God made you to be? That's the type of thought process that's going on right now. And it comes across to a lot of women as men not being emotionally intelligent or not understanding women. But you're actually combating conditioning that's been going on in the prior generations. That's my opinion.
Let me cut this really quick. I can't chase 3 kids, 8 grandbabies, take out the trash, take a baby to school, go to 18 doctor's appointments, pump gas, go to the grocery store in heels and a skirt. I probably could, but hey, look here. Not now, not with this body, baby, not the way this feel. And if that sets me apart and makes me exclusive or the only one of all, then so be it. I'd rather be in boots and some sweats. And so, I mean, from that perspective, but I appreciate your perspective.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, I agree with that. We're not built to do all these things alone, So, but we're combating the media, like Chocolate earlier was referencing representation. So, but we all know that the representation has been poor you know, especially for the Black community for a while. So with that representation, it's
Where do we
like,
teach our children? Where do we
I'm
teach our
sorry.
teenagers? Where do we teach our teens? No, I'm saying again, like I said, it's funny to me how all this is expected. That all of a sudden we should know exactly what to do. And men, you know, you guys just don't want us to let us lead me where? Down the street?
But see,
What is
but see,
no,
but
no,
no,
not our
no.
fault. Not our fault that these words have turned into words of some kind of shame tactic, or now we use body count and we own women. I don't hear men talk about therapy out here. And don't tell me, oh, it's 5 people. Chocolate, it's 5 people. That's enough. If it was, everybody in our community would have had someone in their life. We don't talk about love. We don't talk about joy. We don't talk about appreciation of each other. Y'all so busy telling us what we ain't doing for y'all to do something for us. That's not exciting to me. That sounds like a transaction. I do that every day.
Well, now you know what men feel like. But now you know what men feel like. Now you know what men feel. Hey, sophisticated jerk is smiling because he knows I'm telling the truth. Now you know what men feel like, and that's the problem with this female empowerment thing of trying to be equal. Because that's
either you heard me and you telling me I understand, and now the next breath you telling me I'm not. Which one?
No. I think you understand. That's my point.
Do you?
It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel. No. I do. Let me verbalize it real quick. Chocolate, you are illustrating to everyone right now that it doesn't feel good for you to get this message from men of all the things you got to do in order for that man to do. That makes sense. It's not a good feeling, and nobody should undergo that. That is what men. Wait a minute. That is what men. That is what men have been undergoing for generations. So that's the problem. It's not
blaming us.
No, I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming women. I'm not blaming women. No, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not blaming women. I'm saying that not everything in life is fair. Wait. 1 second, Chocolate. 1 second. Not everything in life is fair, right? And there's things that men and women experience that's not fair. But you're not letting me finish. 1 second.
That's a sign. That's a t-shirt.
I'll let you go. No, I'll let you go. I'll let you go. Go ahead.
Wait, hold on for a second, right? Because we gotta have order up in this. Chocolate Earth, can you please let Dark Link finish his point? Because if you allow him to give a proper explanation, right, without interrupting him, then you'll be able to get the full context of it. And then Coach Ferg, you're going to be next after Dark Link. Go ahead, Dark Link.
Thank you, M3, and I'm done after this. It'll be real quick, Chocolate, and you can respond. What I'm saying is that I'm not blaming women for that. I'm not saying that women did this to men. I'm saying that between the sexes, there's a lot of unfair things that we both undergo, men and women. One of the unfair things that men have undergone is what you just projected, that idea that, you know, you can't get from a woman unless you do as a man. That has been a constant theme for men for generations. It hasn't been a constant theme for women until recently because of the whole equality stuff. So because of the whole equality stuff, men are basically reenacting the same messages that women have been reenacting because we're equal now. And I think what I'm saying, Chocolate, is that I don't think women should have to undergo that type of unfairness. That's the problem with us trying to be equal. That's what I'm saying.
In the United States, there's not enough black men statistically. Enough. 12 million adult black women out of 21 million are available 18 and up. When you do that with the men, it's 7 million. Y'all seem like smart dudes. What's that big old gap in there? Huh?
Wait, what was the question?
No.
Gone.
No.
I'm talking about in our generation. No. In our generation, we are the smallest group out of all the generations living right now. And if you don't believe me, go look it up. I have no reason to lie to y'all. That's insane. My thing is this. I still ain't hearing Like, yeah, yes, and that's a part of the key.
Okay. Okay. Coach Ferg, salute to you, sir.
How y'all doing, man? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, how y'all doing, man? Hey, man, it's a very interesting topic, man. You know, I'll say this, man, about the video y'all just played. All you 40 and unders, go back and listen to that type of music. Get out of this mind-boggling music y'all listen to, how y'all confused about the women's and the men. Go let the music do the talking for you. He even said in the song, I'm a grown man. This was something I was listening to when I was 8 and 9 years old. So whenever I approached the woman, I approached her with my chest up, my shoulders like a rooster. I was the rooster.
Right.
I didn't stick it out. I just built it up is what I'm saying. Get some muscles if you ain't got none. I'm sorry. But just the topic is interesting because Chocolate, you said something that I thought was interesting. The people, the generation that's under this generation right here, y'all the most complicated generation in our history. All y'all here probably 40 and under, 45 and under. My favorite generation. Well, if you're over 45, then you shouldn't be living the way these younger folk are living out here. You should be able to have a relationship with a man or a woman, whether you're married or not. Y'all should be building, saving the money with each other, buying each other ugly ass gifts, cooking for each other, sucking dick, eating ass, not eating ass, but you know, giving your man the pleasure, working for your woman, cutting the grass, shoveling the snow. Everybody should be eating. If y'all got some slow kids, y'all should be reading with slow kids, because some of y'all kids don't get no attention. If y'all overweight, work out with your babies. They're going to be better than you. Just teach you the right way. Last thing, I think the ladies, y'all underestimating the brothers. See, at first the brothers only had their pockets where it was barbershop talk. Now the barbershops are connecting worldwide. This is where I think a lot of women go fall short. Because like she said, the numbers, y'all outnumber us. Y'all outnumber us, but
5 million.
okay, but here's the
5 million women.
But see, brothers, don't look at that as a bad number. That's a great number for you. Because y'all seeing how a lot of women are going to transactional living. If you're a man 25 to 35, you getting your, like, listen. So, one thing we know about survival is survival of the strongest. And with this women out dating us, if a brother got his shit together, he ain't got to be he can be ugly like me. He can be handsome like Mr. Sophisticated Jerk. He can have it all. If he got his money right, he work out, he respect people, women go come to him. He can pick and choose the chicken. Hold up.
Or pumpkin patch.
Huh? What was that? What was that? I mean, but brothers, you gotta know what you like in a woman, what you don't like. If you can look around, if you can, I'm gonna shut up. Listen, it's the last thing.
No, don't.
Why you always cut me off? You love cutting me off. Come on, give me some.
Is the men you was talking about, are they in the cabbage or pumpkin patch? And tell me what time they start growing out the grass. Because like I said, 5 million women.
But here's the thing, Chocolate.
Here's the thing. Show up?
Chocolate, here's the thing.
That's what we looking for.
But you're not listening. You're not listening, Chocolate. You don't listen. That's the problem. A man, see, Chocolate. Okay, I'm gonna tell you where they at. I'm gonna tell you where they at. Right now, they in the pumpkin patch and the other. Hold on. Right now, they in there cooking up their brew. They getting it together because men are self-correcting. Brothers are self-correcting because brothers are getting the message. And listen, brothers, you ain't gonna get no one method to your puzzle. Take all the pieces to the puzzle and put them in your tool belt. Listen, you can learn from a crackhead. You can learn from, if you saw your mama moving like a 304, you don't want a woman like that. If you saw your sister moving like that. Ladies, if you saw your brother being a jerk, dirty dude, why would you want to be attracted to that dude? You have to get away from that life. You can't make excuses after 35. You can't. The world don't give a damn about your feelings. Give your feelings to your mamas and your daddies. Those the only two people should get those feelings, because those are the first two people that hurt your ass. Go talk to them, get it off your chest, and come out into the world of better. But the Olympics is coming here, ladies, in 4 years, and the world is coming with money. Brothers, y'all got an opportunity to take over the world in the next 4. Ladies, y'all gonna have to make a decision, because everybody come here to have fun with the sisters. You don't want to be a fun girl in your 40s. You better find you a good working brother that work on that railroad or got a 9 to 5 and he can fix
I'm
shit,
for the street.
fix stuff with his hands. That's who you want. The dude still sagging after 35. He probably got something that you don't want. Because the STDs is
Yeah, right
rising.
up under.
So
Yeah,
get away from
fall
them.
right
dude.
up under them.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, come on now.
Hey, let me ask a question real quick about that 5 million. So what like age group is that all, or is it that a specific age group?
No.
And why is that discrepancy? Is it like because of marriage and stuff?
Yeah, so I was doing I've been doing this documentary I've been working on about the effects of children, no representation of social skills. So then it goes into seeing that if a person in our society doesn't have social skills, where do they usually end up as an adult in this country? You only got two options. They're gonna send you to the sideways house, or they're gonna put you in jail. We
So
have
you
come
saying
to this.
majority of brothers are in jail? Is that what the
Not the majority. No, not the majority. It's 33%. There are 20 million as of 2023, I believe. They said it was 20 million Black men in the United States, right? There's supposed to be 48 million of us. 21.5 million of us are Black women over the age of 18. The rest of that is kids. Now you take that number. You got 20 million men in the U.S. Now you got to take away the men that's married. Right?
Then
Then you got to take away the men that don't like women. There's a percentage.
It's another 15%.
Well, I don't know what your numbers is, but I'm giving it as I ain't just about to say something real crazy, but I'm serious in the sense of where we're lacking is the ability to be social with one another, to actually articulate what's here without hurting somebody's feelings, without being mean, without being an asshole, without feeling like somebody gonna turn around and talk about you. That security comes from within you. I don't regret being vulnerable on YouTube or Instagram or anything else along with the shows I've done over the years. The reason is because authenticity is thirst out here. Be who you are, bullshit. Don't know. We know where the big money go. We still know where people want to go and listen to. We still know. We have statistics, but we want to sit here and play like, oh, we don't understand how Black men think or Black women think. You got a brain, don't you? Guess what? We got that in common too. Women have brains. Logic, emotional intelligence. Where's that separated at? Show me. Scientifically, when did somebody scientifically say that women are emotional and men are logical in a science book across the world? We run companies. We've built things. We've helped with cities and lives. And sort of now all of a sudden, 2025, we done us and we ain't doing what we supposed to do for y'all because you can't get a sandwich. You don't think therapy is maybe an option? Well, on that, I'm going to go. I'll see you in a little bit. Thank y'all.
All right.
I love you.
All right, Chocolate. You have a good one.
Yeah, I like what Ferg said though, man. I do think we sometimes make a lot of excuses as far as like fixated on dysfunction a lot. And I do think, man, after a certain age, you could. That's why when I first came on, and I think I forgot who asked me the question, and I was just like, observation. That's where you could learn from. So it's like if you see some bad examples, like you don't have to be that intelligent. You don't have to be that old to look at that and be like, you know what? When I have some kids, I want better for my family. So I'm gonna make sure I maneuver the opposite of what I see. And I think a lot of times people just don't want to be honest and they want what they want. They're attracted to certain things and they go down that path. There's numerous people. I know we could all go around there. Have y'all ever, like a female cousin, a sister, whatever was like, hey, don't mess with that dude. He's known to be a player. He ain't that good. Same thing for females. I know y'all probably had like a guy, relative, friend that you was like, hey man, don't mess with that female. she got a bad name. So I think we all just ignore shit. And then we get these bad experiences, and then it makes people bitter. So I think that's the reality. And people just don't want to take that accountability sometimes.
I hear it. That makes sense.
That's why. Yeah, I think it could be because, just looking back over the last, that's why I love history from the time, from the civil rights era forward, because I was born in 68, right? So in 88, 89, man, they was trying to push that crazy drug on everybody coming out of school from that time, from around the country. And some of us escaped it, joined the military, went to college enrollment increased all over the country for blacks about 300%. Every college, HBCUs, small colleges, everybody was going to school. And the ones that stayed back got caught up in it. And from that point on, brothers started taking each other out, losing big mamas, family members, protected family members. And then a lot of those kids are now grown up and they see nothing but fight. They think everybody is cheating on somebody, doing something wrong, but it's not really like that. That's not really who we are. That's what disappointed me, because that's not really who we are. If we can, and that's why I think for brothers right now, get out your heads, fellas. Stop talking to yourself and just get out your head and go do it. You're in the strongest part of your life between 21 and 41. You can do everything you want to do. Don't feel like don't feel anything unless you're happy. But when you dealing with the world, get out your feelings, man. Just move with your logic. If it don't feel right to you, don't force yourself to do it. You got to stand on the mountain by yourself like Moses. If you're trying to take somebody, you don't know. So who's willing to walk in that light? Because right now is the most dynamic time for brothers.
So Coach Ferg, can I ask you a question? Because that time frame you grew up, that was probably when I'll say options were pretty limited. Then, like you was mentioning, they was pushing that drug. So why didn't you kind of go down that path of being like everybody else? What made you separate yourself and take the path you chose?
Well, two things. The options were not limited. We still have the same things y'all had, but now what y'all have now is the entrepreneurship and the social media internet. That's the one difference, right? Other than that, y'all still got military, traditional college, trade school, those things. But however, a lot of times in a lot of cities around the country, young guys who were living in the so-called project communities, a lot of those kids got to go to vocational school. Women were going to cosmetology. Guys were doing HVAC, auto mechanics. They were coming out of high school, able to work in a factory making $34,000, $35,000. See, people really don't look at numbers, because the average salary back then, you can come out of high school and make $35,000. Average salary is only, and this was 86. So you're talking 35, damn near 40 years, where people average salary, really, if you look at the national numbers, it's only about 38,000 when you add everybody up to a salary. See what I'm saying? So it ain't really changed. But then we were more frugal with our money. A lot of people in their 50s, my age, a lot of guys are starting to retire because they understood they had to work. And if they had kids, the one thing that they did, they took care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? And guys got it a little better today because guys are having kids, but they just don't treat their seed valuable. Like she said, the women outnumber the men. So every man should have a woman, at least. If we line everybody up, everybody gonna have a partner, right? You might not get the face you like, because some dudes like faces because I like a pretty face, but they don't know what's pretty. But they get the one with the most makeup instead of one with the most shine on it. Then they don't want a virgin, but then, you know what I'm saying, they mad that she got too much going on. Because a lot of guys don't understand what it's like to be a man. A lot of dudes now, they didn't grow up with a father. The father, or if you did, they saw death in the family. They saw uncles, brothers getting deleted. It's truth out here, man. And, I think brothers can get ahead of it because the information is there now. Nobody can walk around blind anymore. Even brothers my age, Gen A, we was blind, but we understood we had to take care of ourselves. A lot of my generation in like 60s, a lot of us started in the projects. We understood that was a temporary condition. we didn't let that get, and everybody that stayed, like I'm sure you went off to college, and when you was used to come back home, you would see home a little different. Like, man, this ain't what I want. Let me keep moving. But a lot of people who stayed, a lot of them got caught up in that whole drug type of life, and because drugs took the mothers out the home. Once the mothers started getting out of the home, you know what I'm saying, hooked on drugs, the kids was raising themselves. Teenage pregnancy increased by the thousands. And we've been 16, 17-year-old babies having babies ever since. You know, and a lot of guys, they know it. You know, it's just, I just hope that they talk about it, get it off their chest, and go live life, man. These guys out here are strong, man. Brothers are strong as hell. Well, we own too much of shit. We own it too long. You know, once you get your age where you want to talk about it, listen, I'll say this and I shut up. If you can go talk back to a grown man you don't know, go talk back to your mamas and daddies and tell you the truth so you can get that shit off your chest. That shit will change your life, man. That's the best therapy you can get from the people that you believe hurt you, whether it was friends, family members. Just go tell them, man. That shit will free your mind, man. You'll be all your creative genius will just start growing in your head. But I could be wrong.
That's a good point. Because you think sorry, y'all, I'm asking all these questions, man. I think he interesting. So you think that's the issue? Most people problems pretty much root from their parents. So why do they kind of never want to go and because a lot of times I hear people blaming like society and stuff as far as like things that probably don't impact them, but they don't want to address the parents. Why do you think that is?
Because that's the one parent that you by default believe should love you unconditionally. But they don't think about that the parent may have issues too.
Oh, okay. I got you.
See, hurt people regardless of who it is. See, they looking at when you're looking at things, you know, I'll just use my own example, man. My father was an alcoholic all my life, but he worked every day. He only talked to me about working and respect people, places, and things. You know what I'm saying? So he taught me that. My mother was the one taught me about the ladies. Like, don't be trusting these little chicks out here. She saw me mad at a little girl one time. She's like, boy, you gonna have plenty of women, but you still respect them. See, and I had sisters. I had 5 sisters. And I wasn't caught up in feelings and emotions because women's emotions change for about an hour, some about a minute. And I played sports, so I wasn't gonna get all emotional. I ain't gonna argue with no girl. I ain't gonna call her out her name. That ain't never been me. Because I had sisters, so if you did it, you know what I'm saying? So just wasn't that. But I think it's a mixture, and a lot of people just afraid to go talk to their parents. A lot of times, okay, I'm calling for both sides. For the women, a lot of them use their mamas for babysitters. They grudge it on them. You mess my life up, so you watch my baby. You know, they do dumb shit. But see, the mama shouldn't even let you have a little ugly ass kid anyway. I'm being facetious. Ain't nobody kids ugly. I work with youth. I love the youth. They love me. I'm just saying now we all grown, and now we see a lot of these kids during the time man was on medication. A lot of brothers used to be on medication, but they didn't get taken out by the doctor. So, but they don't go talk to the person. You got to go talk to, even if daddy wasn't around, go have a conversation with him. He gonna tell you the truth like you want to hear about. You want to hear about that other girl that you like, but he gonna tell you the other side of the man's story, because some of y'all gonna be baby daddies too, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, and all that shit you did against your daddy that you look like is gonna come back on you with your slow kids. But I could be wrong though. I'm just talking.
Do you think most people want the truth though?
Well, if you're a grown man ready to grow up, after 35, go get the truth, man. This shit set you free. Between 35 and 40, your whole life can be boss. But you play child games, understand. You see what they doing to all the big kids out here running around in the streets, all the brothers. You see how they locking them up now. So if you want to be that type of dude, they go come and get you. So
a lot of the problem is some people just can't. I hate to quote a movie, but some people just can't handle the truth.
Well,
but you got to seek it out, and that's the only way that you're going to be able to make a viable decision on your life, whether you want to go down this road or that road. And Coach, you have put it more poignantly than I was ever able to earlier today, because I was trying to explain about some of the stuff you touched on. You did it definitely more erudite than I did. Thank you very much. And it's good to meet you, by the way. So
appreciate you.
What's crazy is that.
How old are you?
Oh,
just out of curiosity, how old are you, brother?
Man, how do I look, man? I'm old,
68.
man.
Look, you.
Damn, Grace,
He was born
man,
in
see
six.
you?
No, you were born in 68.
Oh, okay. Some people
Relax, sir.
can't
How you looking younger than me, man? That's
You,
not
you
cool.
look 85 and a half. No, I'm
Yeah,
playing. You look
Oh,
young,
damn.
Coach
Come on,
Ferg. You look
Jerry.
young.
because I got lucky. I got lucky, and I wasn't looking until she appeared. See, that's the thing. I wasn't
He
looking,
that findeth the wife, findeth the good thing.
Yeah,
but
exactly. And
but I
feel
was
the
ready to
same
get off
exact
them
way.
streets.
I was the same exact way, Coach. But you
I
put
was
it.
getting flued out and all that, man. I was, ugly enough to be getting flued out. And fella, listen, man. Not every woman likes a light-skinned, bald-headed dude. It ain't their cup of tea. But you can't force it on them because, again, like Chocolate said, for every one of me is 5 or 6 of them. So how can I go wrong in the game? So that's how you gotta look at it. Everybody don't like a skinny dude with dreadlocks and a gold tee. But what I'm saying is, accept your listen. I
Right back
accept my
100.
ugly. I accept my ugly early, and it is what it is.
This is what I told my son. And guys, I know this doesn't sound feminine, but I had to keep it real to my son. I told my son, look, you're dark, you're tall, you're handsome. Bitches, pussy should be twitching when you walk into a room. You're the prize. Okay? Okay, let them work hard for you, just like you have to work hard for them. Value yourself. And that's how I talk to my son since he was 6 years old. So he knows his worth. He knows when to walk away. He knows not to beg no chick to stay with him. He knows to get a mandatory DNA test because he ain't signing shit till we see that DNA test. So these are things that, yes, should his father have taught him? Absolutely. But because I was surrounded around men all my life, I saw it, I learned it, I observed it, and I instilled it into my son. And those are things, look what Coach Ferg said. Another thing, SJ, I think he was successful as much as he is. He had a 2-parent household, and that matters. I had a 2-parent household. That matters. That matters, a 2-parent household. A child deserves a father. No, we can't do it alone, ladies. We shouldn't do it alone.
She's not wrong there. I mean, I had to sacrifice.
Wait, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, I'm just verifying. Mother, who is this? I gotta make sure there's somebody cool.
Sorry, it's Mo.
Okay, it's Mo Love.
Yeah.
Okay, family. Okay. I had to make sure. Okay.
Oh, of course.
Carry on.
I'm lucky that I was able to find love twice. The second time, it's lasted 17 years and we're good and we're strong and everything. But I had a previous marriage. We had 4 children. And the importance of a 2-parent household is gravely underestimated.
Wait, how many kids?
It is so underestimated. It's so important to have the 2 parents there. My ex-wife and I, we sacrificed dealing with each other. We dealt with each other just so that the kids would have 2 parents in the house. It was that important to us that we dealt with each other. As much as we didn't like each other, it was too important for the kids to have both mom and dad there. So we dealt with it.
But wouldn't it be better if your kids had 2 parents that were happy instead of parents that were forcing themselves to be around each other?
I personally think it was more important that they had mom and dad there. I personally feel that we were more successful that way. But once they were grown and understood, hey, mom and dad it's not working, then we separated. We went our way,
But that could give them a complex for the rest of their lives that you know what I mean? That their whole life was a lie.
But here's the thing. Then they have to be able to ask themselves and question and be able to research that for themselves. Did we treat them badly?
They would be researching it. They're your kids, so they would have
treat them
seen.
badly. What I'm saying is we made that sacrifice and we didn't display any animosity towards each other in the household. We, trust me when I say it, her and I, we had our arguments. They happened, not around the kids.
Your kids knew anyway, though.
Well,
They might have
We
known.
all know. Yeah,
They
but
might have known. You're right. They might have known.
but
But they
so they're
had
going to go
their
into
kids
relationships
talk to
thinking
them.
that that's
no,
normal.
you can't assume that. You can't assume that. That's an assumption. You can't assume
Which
that.
who?
The fact that they would go into a relationship already thinking of possible negative things to happen.
Well, no. If okay, all relationships are built on trust, right?
Yeah, but see, it's a
No,
parent,
no,
it's a
no. Hold on.
parent-child trust.
Hold on.
Brother, do your children trust you in their mom?
May I finish?
Yes, they do.
Relationships are built on trust. If you don't have that, if your kids cannot trust you because you're living a lie, then what are you doing?
Is it really
Like,
living a lie though? When you're
it
making
is though. You're not in
hold
love
on,
with her. You weren't in love with her, and you
you're
stayed
jumping
for
to a
them.
conclusion here. Is it
I'm
really
not.
living a
I'm
lie
using your
when you're
words.
willing to put the work in and make the sacrifice
No,
for your children?
no. Okay. A sacrifice for your children would be finding a loving, relationship for them to emulate in the future.
Why not
I'm
put the
just
work in with your
with someone
what?
that you don't love.
It's
That's
Well,
not healthy.
it's
real
still
quick,
work.
Mo, can you define love?
Can I
What do you
define
define
it?
love as? What?
I believe, well, I don't know really how that sticks with trust or whatever, but yeah, love is trusting someone. Love is sharing the same values. Love is, I don't know, complicated, unconditional.
Yeah, so I think from your perspective, if you can't really define it like that, then yeah,
You
you're gonna
can't
have some
either. Go
issues
ahead.
if that's
Okay,
what you're gonna base
can
it
you
on.
can you define it? Your turn.
I
I
mean,
know, I
it's
made
the
my
emotion.
decision.
So I wouldn't really base my relationship just off of love.
Well,
There's
then you don't know what love
responsibility,
is
kind of like what
either.
Jed's
Then you
saying.
don't know what
So
love
Yeah,
is.
my thing is,
Okay, you can't. I have a
I
problem
made
with
my
my
decision.
definition if you don't
oh yeah, but
understand love
my thing is
yourself.
I'm not gonna base my relationship just off of love because it's
But you
emotion
don't
that's
understand
fleeting.
love. But you
It's up
just
and
said that
down.
you don't know what it
You know
is.
what love I do understand? My love for my children. My ex-wife, I understand that love that she has for our children.
Right.
That's the
And
love we understand. And
you
our
love
love
your
for them,
children
our
more.
love for them superseded how we felt about each other.
Right, right. And that's what I wanted to hear was like that you love your children more than you sort of didn't love your wife. Like that's what's important is loving your kids more than you hate or dislike the mother. You know what I mean?
But
And
it's
I wanted
just like
to
I said
understand
earlier.
that from
Every
you.
relationship, I said this earlier, and I say it all the time. Every
I
relationship is.
wasn't here earlier.
I'm sorry, but I said this. I said every relationship is work, and if you don't want to put the work in, that's on you. My kids are willing, are worth me putting all my effort to.
But Jed,
I just think
you
that
already gave the statement that you and your wife were gonna make the sacrifice to pretty much put your kids in a better situation. So you didn't really need to go into that level of detail because we could have read between the lines that you obviously love your kids if y'all were looking at it from that perspective.
I
Exactly.
just
Yeah,
think
but
it's
it
more.
seems like I'm being questioned on it.
Well,
And
no, of course you
it's not.
are.
See,
But it's just the cultural
Okay,
difference.
guys. Let me jump in real quick, right? Because anytime I hear about the word love, it's always so intriguing, right? Because and I get it, right? There's a certain kind of love. Like when you produce like your own seed and they become fertilized, yes, you're gonna have that type of love where sometimes it's almost damn near like unconditional, somewhat, until that child come up different, right? Then we'll see the test of time. But a lot of times when I hear the word love, I'm like, what is love? And most of the time, the reason why I ask what is love, because when it comes to the relationship dynamics between men and women, I honestly believe there's no such thing as unconditional love. Because everything comes with condition. Everything comes with stipulation.
I have to disagree.
I know you'll disagree. And you know what?
Well,
And I
no.
disagree.
Don't you have unconditional love for like children? Your
Hell no,
children?
I don't. Right?
What? Wait,
I have
that's
sometimes
cold.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
me
cold
neither.
as hell.
for ourselves.
Wait a
Man,
minute.
come
Hold
on,
on, hold
man.
on, hold
You're
on, hold
lying.
on,
Not
Y'all
hold
working.
on,
cap.
hold on.
It's
Wait,
cap.
wait. So there's conditions to your love for
It's
your
Yes,
cap.
children?
Absolutely.
So
exactly.
you don't love your children if they get, bad grades? You're not going to love your children if they mess up? See, I think it's just, I think this
Well,
has to do with authenticity, and I'd rather just live an authentic life. And I think that that's what most people, I would think, would want.
and that's good. Like you could live like an authentic life, a lifestyle, whatever. But I also have to put a disclaimer out there. I don't have no kids, right? And there's a
Oh,
reason why I
There
don't.
you go.
But
Oh, okay.
everything. Even as a father in most cases have conditions. Now maybe between the mother and her
Stop
child,
it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop
Right.
it! Stop it! Stop
You
it!
can't speak for a father, man. Come on, man.
Stop it!
I'm a father. There is
Don't.
some conditions,
Yeah,
so
okay,
I'm a
but
I could.
as they get older,
I know you're
That's fire.
so I know you're gonna have an objection for this, right? I'll let you have the floor to explain a little bit.
Okay, so if my son becomes a serial deleter, I'm not gonna have love for him. Or he was a pedo,
okay,
I'm not gonna have love for him. So there's definitely
yeah.
conditions.
but wouldn't that reflect mostly on your parenting if that's how it
Probably.
ended
So
up?
I would definitely blame myself, but he still is an adult and he has decisions that he's able to make.
Yeah.
But like
But
when he's a child, like under 18.
Oh yeah, then it'll be a little more like unconditional at that point. But yeah, once they get to adult age and they make some bad decisions that goes against like society norms, then absolutely
I
there
think
will
it
be
should
conditions.
at a certain age, like where you actually are. Because here's the thing, I know people will say, well, under 18, and sometimes it could be like that borderline, like 17 and 3, 4, 4.
M3,
Yeah.
get your son. You need a son, M3. You need a boy look just like you. You need a boy look just like you, man. I'm trying to tell you. I'll let you talking, man. You be over. Your son have you wrapped around his finger, man. Stop it.
Come on now.
Stop it.
Oh
So
man.
sophisticated.
Yeah,
The only
I
time
think
conditions,
I think
the only time that
Coach Ferg's
conditions
right
came
on
up
that.
with me, I'm sorry, mother, but the only time that the conditions came up with me is once my last child had turned 18, and then only was I able to think more about myself and what I wanted out of life and what I wanted to do, which is when I got together with my current wife. Once all my kids were 18 and older, they were capable of making these decisions. I would support them. I would love them. Yes. And I would love them unconditionally if they were, if they were mass deleters, if they were, no matter what, the love for my child is going to be there, whether they're wrong or right. Yeah. And I would take the blame for anything
That's
that I
beautiful,
lacked.
though. That's what we need in the world. Is that is unconditional love.
But
Okay, that is.
but once your children get to a certain age, then you're allowed to be a little selfish. And if I didn't
Yeah, of
allow
course.
myself to be a little selfish, I wouldn't be married now.
All right.
At what
So-
point
so-
as a parent do you then become an enabler? I'm curious as to when, because there
As
is
a
a thin
parent-
line here.
as
That's
a
what we're talking
parent,
about.
As a parent, when do you become an enabler? Is when you constantly coddle them, and when they should be doing the right thing, and you taught them everything you could teach them, and they're constantly coming back needing your help. Sometimes you got to say no. You got to do this on your own. And I've done it. It hurt. It hurt me to say.
Why did it hurt you?
It hurt because I felt like I let them down, but I knew I was doing the right thing by saying no.
100. That was a good point that you made. You become an enabler when you have unconditional love for egregious acts.
Now, I
So,
believe
so sophisticated. I want you to help me understand something, right? Because to me, I totally understand what you're saying. I think you would love your son, but your love has conditions once he reaches that age appropriateness. And if he's not going to abide by those conditions to be in your life, then you're like me. I can love you from a distance. See, I'll show up at the homegoing, but I ain't going to all that other shit. I ain't putting up no money on nothing. I ain't even go tell you what lawyer to get. Might not even show up at court if you out there on that BS. That's me. Now, I was thinking that you might be so, because I think we all love our kids unconditionally. But the one thing women can't do that men can do, we can love our son into direction. Most women, once your son turned 12 and 13, and his scrotum sac this, I said most, not all. Once his scrotum sac separate from his body, he needs a man. Whether you don't like the father or not. Most kids die looking
What
like
about
they
all the kids without
behaviors of their mom.
fathers?
Hold on for 1 second, guys. I gotta highlight this comment. Well, salute to like KMA. Thank you for tuning in. Sugar Bum, hey, that was one of the best comments you just written down. Love is definitely conditional. For that, nobody should not bang you tonight. So you should be good. But thank you for that comment though. But Uncle Ferg, I mean, okay, I know I usually come off like, kind of like, a little slightly aggressive or whatever, right?
What makes you think that? Okay.
But the way how you broke it down, that's pretty much in translation is what I'm saying. You can still love, you can still have tough love, but no matter what, I would never believe that love is fully unconditional. That's like I know that's a Bible reference that usually only comes from like one being, and that's Jesus, but ain't nobody gonna have no unconditional love like that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, and take it for what it's worth. When you're there in the hospital and you watch your child come out of the birth canal, and that's your child,
bro.
There's the feeling that overcomes your body, the feeling that overcomes your soul. That is complete and unconditional love.
Brother. Unfortunately,
he's completely right. That is absolutely.
I understand that, but here's the caveat. I think he's not really addressing, but needs to be explained. The caveat is when a father who's married to the mom or in a committed relationship with the mom does that. We're just having babies out here. And if you just having a baby and got a baby mama, you ain't holding up your baby nowhere in the hospital, in the park, a mountain, or nowhere, because you ain't gonna get that love luxury. The connection is already broke. It's already broke. But if you growing up with the father in the home, the greatest equalizer for any boy is his father. He's the ultimate hero if he's a righteous guy. If he's a dude that's still sleeping around on his mom, everything about that whole family will fall apart. But if he's just a regular dude that work a job, everybody got sneakers, everybody eating good, and he teach you how to fight, you winning as a youngster. But a man can't afford to move not opposite of that. You just gotta.
So you don't know a single man that was raised by a single mother that has done well in life.
In the time when I was growing up, a lot of guys was born from a single mother. Guess what they 4'2", 102-pound mother didn't do? Make excuses for their big ass. Guess what they mamas made them do? Clean up everything. They didn't let them be lazy. They gave them direction. They didn't make excuses. What we see now is my baby's
you're saying that only a dad can do that.
No, the highest probability. No, what I'm saying is the highest probabilities is a mother, father, and a father. Those are the highest probabilities because this is the modern world. The modern women are too caught up in what they want to do. F the kids. You see, the kids are the laziest and the fattest and the dumbest in the history of us as a people. It comes down to the teacher of that child. Even if I'm not around, if I'm 3 blocks away, drop that damn little slow ass baby off. He look just like me. Drop him off and you go do your thing. Don't let them see you. As long as I'm not saying you, but we let our kids see too much smoking and drinking and turning up and twerking. You let a 4-year-old boy see you twerking, he gonna be twerking and he gonna be twerking on something. Same thing for a little girl. We got to separate those. Let the little boring ass dude that you gave your body to, let him be a good father. He can change everybody's life, but we just don't get that in America. So
You guys should see Black Beauty's comment. That's really she said it perfectly.
Let's see. She says, I had this human being. Nothing is going to take my love away. If she were to do something horrific, I can distance myself and still love my child. But here's the thing, right?
That's unconditional love, and that's a mother right there.
That's
right there.
That's what we said, though. That's what I said.
Well, hold on. To me, I still look at it as a condition, right?
It is.
You can still love your children, right? No matter what. But the action, what she said, that she's going to create distance because there's going to be a consequence into that. My version of unconditional love is that no matter what the hell you do, you could abuse people, you could slap me in my face or whatever, you could try to drown me in a pool of water. But when I come out of that pool of water, right, almost half dead, I'm still gonna be around with you. There's not gonna be no consequence or whatever. That is unconditional love. That's me still embracing you, which pretty much inhibits, discipline and your ability to grow.
I gotta disagree with you because that's the textbook version of enabling.
And that is unconditional love.
Whoa. If you love that child, you'll do what it takes to make sure that child knows right from wrong.
Okay.
If you love that child, do you not want that child to be the most productive person that they can be in society and make it and do better than you? If that's not your goal in life as a father, you're failing.
Yeah, and that's what I call conditional love, right? So that's going to be conditions under the roof of my household. You're going to do as you're told to do, right? If you be a fuck up, get the hell out of my house. You know
what? I can't wait till you have a child. I cannot wait till you have a child, brother. I'm gonna read them words right back to you.
but Jed, real quick, because I get what you're saying, man. You're gonna pump all that like morals and principles. You're gonna be a good father. It sounds like that you already are. You did that. But don't you think you'll have a higher level of like disappointment from doing that if you're say like your kid did do one of those egregious acts that we was talking about?
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think if you're that good parent and your kid crossed them boundaries, you're gonna be like, I'm done with you.
I did something wrong. I will personally feel like I did. So what did I do? Why is he this way? Why did he do it? Is there I would doubt myself. No doubt. I would doubt myself. But that's what
I guess I'm on that samurai code. You better follow on this sword. You shame the family.
I'm with you, brother, sophisticated jerk. You know what I'm saying? But I can understand both sides. And this is the thing: if a father has the opportunity to be like you, brother, what's that, Electrojet?
Yeah.
Then he's gonna be engaged with his son regularly. He's gonna know how his son's moving. You know, once your son gets to the age where he can leave your home for good, and I always look at age 21. At age 21, ain't no turning back for a man of color. I don't give a damn if your mom was in your life, your dad was in your life, the parent, you know what I'm saying? You can't turn back the hands then. You on your own. Because even with the black community,
I'm just saying, I don't know how clear my mic is, but that's just a mindset. Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. Y'all to stop believing in unconditional love, because love is supposed to be served under condition. Even when you get into the spirit and the word of the Holy Bible and everything was done on conditions. So just like enabling, unconditional love will only happen if you enable the bad behaviors and still accept what goes on. So everything is under condition. Look, if I come in the house and it's dust on it, I don't like nothing under my feet. Under that condition, I don't like you right now because I've been outside all day, and I had to come home and I have to sweep the floor. No, under that condition, hey, everybody get out of my face. I don't love you like I love you when I left out the door, because the floor was set with left. I made sure I did it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, your mic ain't hitting for real.
It ain't with it. It ain't with it. It ain't hitting.
That's
what I'm saying.
You got a badass mic, but you cooking though.
But I'm just saying though, nah, it's StreamYard. It's some way they do the setting. It might kick me out. There wasn't. But I'm just saying, bro. Everything in the conditions. If you believe in unconditional love, that means you are aiding and abetting the crook mindset. Say that you got a child that decides to be a serial deleter, right? If you say, I'm gonna put my house up for you, guess what? In the court of law, they're gonna look at you as, okay, the next time he do this, if he get off just based on the amount of money, we got to watch the daddy too, because he putting up money behind this man's foolishness, knowing that his child, knowing the capabilities of his child. So now we got to watch all you. You know what I'm saying? Bro, no, under a certain condition. You did what you did, son or daughter. Get up out of my house to keep them folks off of my back. I love you, but I love you the long way over there. You know what I'm saying? So my love them been lost a little bit. You know what I'm saying? For you. You know what I'm saying? No, that unconditional love, I don't believe in it. Everything you do, you're supposed to do it under condition. Because if you don't, you ain't walking in the ways of God. When Jesus told you to do certain things, right? They did otherwise. What happened? It was a wrath. It was smite. It was a punishment for it, right? How you gonna rewrite the story and just be an all forgiving person? See, that's the problem with us people right now. We even try to change the ways of God, right? Oh, he forgive everything because it's our narrative. I'm gonna be dirty. I'm gonna steal. I'm gonna be a backstabber. I'm gonna cover this man white. But guess what? If I repent, God gonna He love me always and forever. All I got to do is say I'm sorry, and I can keep this mess going on for the next 10 years. Not only with this woman, that man, or that one, I can do it for the next 10 years, 15 other people. But he got my back because he's a forgiving daddy. Man, y'all better.
Wait, what version of the Bible are you reading, man? Because you know that. Okay.
He loved me forever and a long time. Love me long time. He loved me. Yeah. Anything I do, and anytime I do anything, only thing I gotta do is say sorry, Papa.
Not exactly.
Take me in.
That's not what I take from the Bible.
With your unconditional love.
Everyone has their interpretations. That's not what I
King
get.
Rooster said y'all soft. That's what I got from all that. That's my translation.
Yeah. But you know what? With rules like that and beliefs like that, I can see that.
I've never met a single father in my life either.
What was that?
Huh?
I've never met a single father either.
What you
Like
mean?
Sugar Bum just said in the comments, she said, I've never met a single father in my life. And I was
My
like, yeah,
nephew-
no, me neither.
My
And
nephew
also,
said
Black
to me
Beauty,
that
really
his
quick,
dad
I
was a
can't
single
text in the chat. They won't let me
Hold up,
text.
we met a single father. I was a single father at the age. I got the paperwork that shows I was a single father at the age of 23. When I made my first son.
Vic. I don't know, man. You gotta get your mic, man. It's breaking up a lot, man. I'll say that there's a big cultural difference and a class difference when it comes to white folk, right? See, my man, he's a regular guy, regular Joe Smo. He gonna love his son a little bit longer. But good to that top 10%, those big 500,000, those estate owners, when they son be on that BS, they kick him straight out the family. They son get out there and doing dumb shit, they get their ass out the wheel and everything. So it come down to class, but brother, in our community, it is what it is, man. You know, I've seen it. I worked in it all through the major cities, man. And you fuck up too many times, man. A black father be like, man, get your ass on. Especially if he's about something. If he's worked all his life, man, he'll just eventually. The mother, you know, sometimes the mothers do it when they backs up against the wall. But for the most part, a guy can live with his mama till he's 35 years old.
Yeah, because that's
Not
because
in my family.
mothers give birth and love their child unconditionally.
Yeah, but they loving the sons backwards because the son's still sagging at 35 and he ain't working and he ain't paying her bills and he don't clean up her house, he don't cut the grass, he don't do shit. That's a big ass kid. Who wants that pressure? Get that pressure out your house, ladies.
Yeah,
Hey, well.
Well, I got to get going, my brother, but I want to thank you guys. I love the conversation. All the gentlemen up here, all the ladies, the queens that are up here. I had a great time, and thank you for letting me up here and chit chat with y'all. It's I
Nice meeting you.
And
Yeah, nice
sorry
meeting
if it
you.
sounded like I was interrogating you earlier. That's
No,
not what I
no,
was trying
no.
to do.
I
So
didn't
sorry.
take it that way at all. I don't take it like that at all. I like having conversation, and all of you are great people to conversate with, and I want to thank each and every one of you for sitting here and listening to me when I had my shit to say. Thank you very much. Peace out, everybody, and God
All right,
bless.
have a good night, Jay.
All right, have a good one.
All right, OG.
All right, sir.
So I wanted to get back to that love, because M3, I think you was kind of breaking that down, and I think love is probably one of the most worthless words in the dictionary, because it really holds no meaning.
Right.
Only if you think that way. That's so negative. Have you ever known love?
It's just so hard to define, because I like what
No,
Grace
it's
said.
not.
Grace was
And
like,
also,
it has so many
it's a-
definitions per person, which means it's
Well-
pretty much meaningless.
Okay, well, in the English language, like we only have one word for love, whereas like other languages have so many words for love. But I mean, like, do you need a definition to feel it? Do you have to have the definition of a word in order to feel those things? Do you have to have the Webster's dictionary out in order to feel anger, in order to feel fear, anxiety, or just love?
Wait a minute, more love, right? I mean, I know I kind of came a little bit late, like in the beginning of the love topic, but you was the one that was not really able to really fully define what love was between you?
No, I understand what love is because I have felt it, I feel it, and like that's not something that I'm confused about at all.
No, okay.
I said love is trust, it's understanding, it's unconditional.
Yeah, but I know most of you guys.
What is hate? What is hate?
What is hate?
Yeah.
The opposite of love.
So then what is love?
Love is just love, pretty much.
Love is the opposite of hate. So there you go. We've got our definition. Does it change anything?
But it changed depends on like on the person, because I know a lot of references was basically based on, the love for like your children. But I don't get the love as far as like when it comes to like when you meet a stranger, when you build a relationship with a friend, when you're in the courtship phase or dating or marriage. Like I look at these things that it's still conditional, because if you do something, that love is going to be lost. It's going to be gone.
Oh, it depends on what you do.
Again.
What are you up to? Like, wait a minute. Hold on. Right?
So can I ask
setting
everybody a question?
churches on
Sorry.
fire or something? Because like that, I can understand losing love over. Like, what are you up to?
I'm not even going to that extreme. Like, I'm just saying, like, it could be something small where it's like, okay, you're in a relationship, but you're not really meeting the person's expectations anymore. You become complacent. I don't even want to go there as far as like, I mean, of course, obviously, if you cheat, like it's game over. You know what I mean? But still, even doing that, it's a certain condition. Like for me, I'm gonna let's use you and I for example, right? If I were in a relationship with you, and I'm saying, hey, I love you, more love, right? And I'm giving you love from what I only experience it from. Hold on, Miss, hold on.
Show more love.
Oh man.
But the thing is, right? Okay, what is your what will be your deal breaker in the relationship that will eventually turn that unconditional love into something that now you're making a condition.
I mean, like, what? Like, if you,
Yeah,
I
hey,
guess, murder my friends, like, hurt
right
my
now.
family, like, because I love people through, like, everything. I've loved abusers, I've loved addicts, you know what I mean? Like, you can love someone and not want anything to do with them.
Have you ever fell out of love with somebody?
It's a good question.
It's all right to say
That
yes.
is a good question. No, that's something I actually had to think about. Fell out. Fizzled, maybe, but I still have
Fizzle's
love
kind
for
of tap
them because
dancing.
I still want the best for them. No, I don't think that the world is so black and white. I think that, like, there's a healthy place. You don't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to go to these extremes. But with a child, like, I don't have kids, and I know the, like, unconditional love that mothers have for children because I was there, like, as my friend gave birth. I helped her give birth on the way. Like, and she left her partner because her partner, like, he was I feel bad sharing this, not like she'll ever know, but she came home and her husband was drunk and the child was sort of left wandering around, and she took her kid and left because that's unconditional love. Like, under no condition does she not love that child more than she cares about him. She doesn't want anything bad to happen to him, but she got the hell out because she's not going to keep her child around that. That's unconditional love.
Okay, I appreciate you for sharing that, but if you had a choice to just say like yes or no to Sophisticated Jerk's question, what would it
Yeah,
be?
but I just said, like, I don't believe in those extremes because I think that that's a ridiculous way to live. You can't go through life being like everything's all good or everything's all bad, everything's all this or everything's all that. It's so unhealthy. You don't have to feel everything 100% of the time, 24/7. You can just, like, relax,
So
I think that you guys are trying to create much more of a conversation about, like, well, what are the definitions, and, like, oh, do you fall under this definition, when it's like it doesn't, you don't need to complicate it that much. I think that's why a lot of
Hold on.
men are lonely. I think a lot of men are lonely because they complicate it so much. They make it so difficult for them to even be loved.
Okay, we got KMA in the building. We got Chocolate in the building. After Mo Love makes a point, I'm gonna go to KMA Chocolate. SJ, hold your point, bro. Hold your point. We're gonna get back to you. Just hold your point.
You good?
So KMA, anything you want to share, sis? Chocolate, we see you back in the building. So go ahead, y'all share, and then we're gonna keep it moving.
Good morning. I mean, like, I got woken up out of my sleep listening to this live because my husband was listening.
Go to the bro.
And
Tell him
I know
part of my
like,
ignorance.
he had a lot to say here, but he couldn't hop on because his phone was just doing a whole lot of nonsense. And today we're celebrating our 11 years of marriage, which is a huge achievement for us because our parents. Thank you. That is the biggest badge that I want to wear, other than being a mom of 3 children. But that is the badge I want to be remembered as one of the most, because both our moms didn't even stay married long enough to say they made it even through 5 years of their marriages. Hey, babe? And one thing I was just saying and it's not this to our moms, right? They tried to do the best that they thought that they were doing. But now that we are, bless you, now that we are husband and wife, now that I am a mother with a husband, and my husband is a father with a wife, We understand the importance of there being a father and a mother in a home that are working together in unison, and the big importance of unity, and the importance of also displaying affection, and there's healthy affection and healthy arguments or debates that we have. I mean, we debate about politics, and he has his views and I have my views, and my views are always sunshine and rainbow and unicorns, and his ones are never so. And I don't like it, but at the same time I also gotta get slapped with reality at times, because I'm always a hopeful person, and he brings that balance to me. But I needed him to bring that balance the same way he needed me to bring that balance also, where I come in with affection and the feminism side, and calm him down, and that's what did you say? Yeah, the feminist side. And there's a few things where I lack that he has, and where he lacks I have. But there's no
I'm
power
sorry, does
struggle.
someone have
I'm not trying to be
chickens?
him. Yeah, there's chickens here.
It's so cool.
But I'm not.
What?
I'm not. I'm
You
not trying to
selling
be
one, you
him.
gonna sell one too.
Yeah,
I
but
need a
I'm not.
rooster.
Hey,
By
yeah,
the time
right
it comes
on.
there, it's going to be cooked.
I need those
Right
eggs. I need
on
those
with the
eggs.
chicken.
But
Yeah,
I'm
my
not. And
neighbor
those are
got
my
chicken.
neighbors.
Yeah.
Those are actually our neighbors' eggs. And our neighbors' chickens as well. But they keep coming in our yard. But at the end of the day, I'm not
It's the
trying to be my
rooster.
husband, and he's not trying. Yeah, he's not trying to be me. And there's no power struggle between the two. Just this morning I was just saying to him how grateful and thankful I am that we became and built up the family that we always wanted as children.
Yeah.
I became the mother I always wanted for myself as a child, and continue to become the mother I always wanted for myself. A mother that's approachable, where my kids can come to me and just have a good cry and then talk about what they're going through afterwards. And he became the father and continues to become the father that he always wanted for himself. The type of father that, was teaching his daughters how to be tough in certain situations, and how to also learn when to stand up for themselves, and also when to turn a cheek and just to be like, okay, this battle is not for today. But I got to step back and let him do his job and play and work on his role. I could never try and tell him how to be a dad, even though there were times when he had mentioned, he says, you helped me in that role. I didn't know that, because that was not my intention. I was just trying to learn how to be a mom. And then he knew how to play his role. He saw what I was lacking at, and he knew, okay, this is what I got to do. But we didn't have a point of reference. We didn't come from those households. In South Africa, a colored household is always classified as a broken household, where our mothers are alcoholics or drug addicts, and our fathers are alcoholics, abusive, and drug addicts. That is the narrative of a South African colored household. Yeah, that is how it was. But every day we gotta all make that decision, not just based on, okay, what is love? And then we're going to try and rationalize something that is a feeling. It's like kicking your toe, and then your baby toe, which is the worst feeling ever, on the side of a chair, and then still trying to describe how it feels. Who's going to want to explain how that feels? I know I won't. As much as I'm very Christian and everything else, if somebody's going to ask me how that feels, I'll probably forget about the cross and Jesus, and I'll be like, tell you what, I'll tell you something else. Don't ask me about that. But love is that. It's hard to rationalize. It's hard to say, okay, love is giving birth, and it's this and it's that. My husband was there when I gave birth, but he can't fully understand what it felt like to give birth. He won't fully understand the type of connection that I have with my children, the same way he has a connection with our daughters and with our son that I won't understand. And that is okay. It's okay for me not to want to give that a label. It's okay for me not to want to understand it. The same way we also have relationships with our mothers that is not really good, because they also don't understand the order of our household and understand the boundaries of our household as a husband and wife led household. because that's also another conversation. How do the people that come out of single parent households go into having a household where it's mother, father, build up your relationship, and then you still have a parent that is so used to having their son all to themselves or their daughter all to themselves, and then now they got to deal with the whole daughter-in-law, or now they got to deal with the whole son-in-law, so they can't get their way all the time with their children, or it's a whole list of things, because now you got to teach your parent about no, I can't just do this for you. I got a partner. I gotta go consult with my bestie first before I come and talk to you. Not
Yeah, like
my external
boundaries.
besties, but this is my bestie. I gotta go talk to him first. I always joke with Sean about that. I'm like, even this morning I was like, oh, happy anniversary, bestie, because out of all the friends I ever had in my life, I was willing to let go of each and every one of them to hold on to this relationship because of bad advice from friends that weren't even married. Bad advice from people that were trying to come and give some form of advice on parenthood that didn't even have children. Yes, it's understandable to try and give advice, but it's different when you're giving advice from a place where you say, listen, I lived it. I went through it. Show me your resume. That's your resume. That's what speaks for you. The same with love. Whether you've succeeded or failed at love, that is your resume. Be true to your resume. Listen, it didn't work for me, so this is my resume. This is what I think love is. Love is not it's not kind. It's not sweet. It's not sunshine and rainbows. The same with marriage. It's not always sunshine and rainbows. It took a lot for us to even get to 11 years. It took me fighting my pride and ego, and it took Shawan fighting pride and ego. You know, it took me having to fight being like my mom that was very domineering, and Shawan as well. So it takes a lot to get to the point where you are at. But even when we got married, there's a lot of people that got married when the same year as us in our family that are divorced now because they couldn't continue to hold that stance and not also allow external voices to sway their decision making and say, I'm going to endure all things in this love. I'm going to learn when to keep quiet, and I'm going to learn when to speak. I'm going to learn when to choose my battles. And I'm going to also learn not to always want to be right. And that is why love cannot, in a relationship, cannot be rationalized as per to love with a child, right? When you're loving a child, that one is the easiest one. Because it's just like, okay, this is right, that is wrong, and oh, I love you so much. Oh, you did a good thing. Oh, there's some hugs for you. Or a child just randomly comes and hugs you. And that is the sweetest thing ever. Like now, my daughter just hugged me, but later on, we'll probably get into a fight. You know, maybe about her leaving her shoes around. But she'll forget about it, and she'll come back and hug me before the night is done. And that is the love with a child. But when it's us as adults, it's a bit more complicated. You know, oh, okay, you did this to me, so I'm gonna hold that grudge against you. Oh no, you said this, so I'm gonna hold that grudge against you. So the love from parenthood, that unconditional love with the child, compared to that kind of seemingly what conditional love that we have with our partners, is very much different. Because when they do something to hurt us, we are definitely gonna get on top of them, and then our feelings for them. Even people that say, "Oh, we fell out of love," I hate that saying. I hate it because there was a time when I also fell out of love with my husband and he fell out of love with me. There was a time when we were also almost not together anymore. But we had to come back and say, okay, what were the things that made me fall in love with you in the first place? Let's be honest with each other. And that's one of the things that we are big on when it comes to our relationship. Is there was someone that was saying to us, oh, you guys, I want to have a relationship like you. Shawan looked at her. She says, you don't. There was a time I didn't even love her. There was a time I didn't even love him. Are you ready for that? Are you ready to endure that kind of thing and just be like, oh, I'm gonna throw in the towel and move on? That's the part. It's easy to throw in the towel and move on because there's always another man waiting. There's always another woman waiting. But are you gonna go and just take on a new problem, a new person, learning to go through the challenges and things with another person. That's a whole 6-7 years of learning. It's 11 years, I'm still learning some things. 11 years, he still leaves the toilet seat up. They still don't close the toothpaste, but I gotta deal with that. Someone once said, and I'll rest with this, but I saw a quote once on I think on Facebook. It said every woman comes with a headache, right? You just gotta choose. You gotta choose your headache and take a Disprin. So he chose his headache, and he takes his Disprin, and for 11 years it lasted. And I'll rest with that, fam.
Now, fam, listen, I'm not taking anything away from what you're saying, right? You know I love you, you know I care about you. I'm not taking anything away from what you're saying.
Thank you for sharing
I,
that, though. By the way,
definitely. But I think your situation is a little different because you do have kids. And I think the kid factor is a big thing in marriage, right? But I'm gonna be honest. For those who don't have kids, look, I'm not sticking around if it get too rough. I'm just gonna be honest because I ain't got no kids. I'm gonna be completely honest. You know what I mean?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So brother Best, are you speaking in reference to if you meet a woman and she has kids and her kids are just deviants, you're gonna move on? You're not talking about
yes. I'm out in that case too. Yes.
So if you have wait a minute, no. What I'm saying is, if you and a woman you marry and you in the house with your sons and your sons start acting bad.
No, if they my kids, no. If they my kids, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. If they her kids, now I'm out.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can understand.
Yeah,
that,
I'm out of there.
Yeah, I can understand. I wouldn't even do that.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm be completely transparent. That's one of the reasons why I ain't got no kids, because you know what I mean. It's the ability to say, I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Wait,
stepping away.
are you sure you don't have any
kids? Because when you
kids?
have kids, you understand that's a lifetime
said
commitment.
that?
Completely for real.
Why
Not
y'all put some
saying
kids on
the
that
marriage
man?
part A, right? But what I'm saying is that once you have a kid, it's really a wrap. You know, me and them three have a friend, right? And three know what I'm talking about. We have a friend. They have a child, right? They feel a lot of ways about their marriage. Though we always tell them, hey, look, man, we told them once before, we tell them over and over again. They're gonna laugh. But we told him over and over again. He was trying to leave his house. You say, hey, man, go back to your home. You got a child, man. Go back home. Go back home. Get up out of here. You gotta go because you got a child. It's a wrap for you, dog. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? If you don't really want to really stick it through, then I would tell any person don't really have kids. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Once you got kids, it's a wrap for you because either you're gonna stay there or you're gonna leave. And these women are not playing. They will put you on child support in a heartbeat. They're not playing with y'all. All right? They're not raising these kids by themselves. They will find you and they will put you on that child support. Best believe they will. Okay?
Yeah.
And they should. Right? And they should. Right? You have kids together. That's what they're gonna do. So and listen, I couldn't, and I always tell KMA this, I couldn't do what she does. I can't. I couldn't. I always tell her husband that I couldn't do that. You know what I mean? Because
So
I'm out.
women are stronger than
If
men,
I'm not
it
liking
sounds
what's
like.
going on, I'm out of here. Hold on. I'm gonna go to chocolate, then I'm gonna go to Moo Love, and then we're gonna keep moving. Chocolate, go ahead.
what's up? Y'all hear me okay?
Yes, we do. Yes,
You gotta turn down front side, please, just a little. Oh, I know. I'm gonna be real quick. Anyway, we kicking it. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, uh, here's something here. I hear y'all. And again, sis, thank you so much for sharing the peel back of a human relationship, right? All of these rules, regulations, power struggle. Like I'm waiting for you to come on with a battle axe, and I'm gonna beat you up as soon as you get out. You man, I find it hypocritical. I'm just gonna keep it 100. Not to you, sis, but the fact that men continue to say, "I want a good woman." Can't tell me what a good woman is. I asked the question, so all these good men out here, why are we having these conversations? Why are women opting to be single rather than to continue and try to find a mate in what is left in our age groups, in our income groups, whatever you want to say. You know, and I'm talking U.S. You know, I'm talking right here in the U.S. because I know Black Americans we do have a unique situation, but that's why I said earlier, no nuances ever discussed. Oh, she left. Why was? What about him? If he is unable to communicate because he don't want to be vulnerable, and she should just accept the provider, the y'all bought the house, you ain't got to pump your gas, you got 8 kids, we good, you ain't got no complaints. But again, those are all the things. It's aesthetic. What about who are you looking for? Are you looking for someone that mirrors you? Or are you looking for somebody to dominate or control? How about you want a servant? Hey, hire one. There's plenty of women who like to walk around in maid outfits and clean your house. You don't need me. Why do I gotta clean your house anyway? Why ain't your house clean already? Like, I mean, it don't make sense. It's just so silly. It's just so goofy. And we sit up here all the time and have this conversation, and then we hit that brick wall. Oh, chocolate, you crazy girl. That ain't like you. It's 5 good looking, good men around the corner, baby. You missed them. You told them they wasn't shit. I'm so tired of hearing that. But if I ask you, when last time you and your boy had a heart to heart? When last time you called your friend and talked to them about what's going on in your life and really released pause? Who do you go to as men? Because y'all always want to tell us what we need to do. We need to understand. Now, you want me to understand, but you don't want to tell me shit. How does that work?
But sometimes y'all don't be
How
listening.
does that? No, don't come up with something else, brother. Hey, put that shit in your pocket. Hey, we grown. If she ain't willing to talk to you, then you the dummy that stay. And I'll just keep it 100. If you are with a woman and she don't cook, clean, do the Watusi the way you want, because there are women out here who will, but they may not look like the way you want. The package, the aesthetic, where she lives, you may not find her in your backyard. We have access to 8 billion people, but yet the 5, 6, 7, 8 niggas can get up here and talk about how, you women is sexy rich. Who is sexy? Them is for kids. We ain't no kids up here. Ain't no kids listening right now. Whether you got kids or not, if you got a shitty personality, you're gonna be a shitty ass parent. If you got a good personality, you gonna be a good parent. What are we doing here? Traits are not gender specific. Y'all tripping.
She
I
is so
love you too,
right.
so.
Love her.
But I'm so tired of us. You tell us we don't understand. You tell us we don't listen. But then you just sat here, brother. You make me want to kick my leg out. Because you up here talking about we don't listen. Because you ain't got shit to say.
Oh,
we don't listen.
See, that's the shit right there.
And y'all got it.
I don't know how y'all young dudes gonna handle respond to that.
Shit hit me with a mic drop at the end. Okay, Chocolate Earth, I feel you. But look, man, let me just break this down. A lot of times, y'all want to blame us for the way how y'all act. Y'all want us to give you a long-winded explanation of why we don't really have the need to really open up and to articulate our emotions. And when we
M3, no disrespect, but these are the same things you keep saying. That makes no sense. Where is this representation of this? Come on, M3, for real?
Like, yeah,
For real?
just have a good personality
Come on,
and stop
y'all.
blaming women. It's not women's fault if you
We're not
suck.
blaming you. Hold on, M3. We're not blaming you. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be quiet. We're not blaming you.
Who that in the background?
Who? What you mean?
Oh,
Don't worry
don't
about
get
who in the
distracted.
Yeah, get out my business. Anyway, listen. The thing that I don't understand is this. All those for real. When I was talking about my relationships, it's not to brag, it's not to be arrogant. The reason I talk about it freely, without question, is because I had to break those relationships down here so that I could find my worth in it. Like I said earlier, I was Miss Goody Two Shoes. You are to be silent. My parents raised me in Islam and Baptist Christianity. What you think going on back there? But my daddy was cheating, by the way. Just on that. No hate on him. Lord bless his soul. What it made me understand was people are human. No, and excuse my language. Fuck a title, because that's all we talk about. If you want a human being next to you that's gonna make you feel like they give a shit, women want to give that to men, but you can't. I can't give that to you, and you don't want to give me shit. What is that? You want to be the man and strong and strong, and I am to be the damsel in distress. Then, if we want to get married to a man with money, so we can be all that, then we go there. If we don't accept who you are now, we shallow. And you got the nerve to say that women are blaming men for how we act. It's a reaction, bro. How can you be the leader, but then you gonna blame the people you want to lead? You ain't leading us nowhere. There's no representation. There is no universal black relationship. Because again, you got two sides of this. You got the biblical side and you just got your human side without the religion piece. And I ain't hating on that. Much love. Like I said, I grew up. It ain't got nothing to do with this. It has to do with who you are. If you a man that like to go to the strip club, like old boy said, I'm gonna tell you the story, and I promise I won't interrupt you no more. I promise.
You wild as hell.
Yes, I am. I've been told that all my life. The one thing I observed from being here, listening to y'all on year 3, where's the solution? What do we really want to see black people together? How we gonna do it? We're gonna tell them get your research on your own, but we're not gonna create shit for people to get together. You see what I mean? Like, you want to blame a person for not knowing what to do to have a healthy relationship, and ain't no representation of a healthy relationship, and your ass don't even know what a healthy relationship is, but you try to lead me down the street. And then I'm wrong because I leave. Come on.
Oh, I know.
Has anybody ever been cheated on up here? Who has ever been cheated on if you wouldn't have said?
Yeah.
You've been cheated on. Trey Ferg, you ever been cheated on?
Not that I know of. If she did, she took it to her grave, so I couldn't tell you.
Thank you, sir. You have not been cheated on. Thank you very much. Next, Mr. Jerk, have you ever been cheated on? Previous to your marriage. I mean, marriage.
Not in my marriage, but in like junior high, I was cheated on, but I didn't hold on to that feeling. I moved on from that.
Yeah, it's really obvious. Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Sure.
Junior high shit. It's kitty shit.
All right, and
Exactly.
what's good?
That's why I left it at.
Yeah, shit. That's why he's king now. What y'all talking about?
Have you been cheated on? In 3. Have you ever been cheated on?
Nah, never. And I never cheated on anyone
Yes.
else. I said no, never.
No. I don't care about what you do in that regard. This is not what that is.
Okay,
It's not about blaming anybody.
The answer is no, never.
How?
You know.
Thank you. Now, I have as well.
Come on, Chuck, you forgot about me. You forgot about me.
Yeah, you forgot
Okay,
about
sir. Have you ever been cheated on?
Oh, you don't like this answer. You don't like this answer. Shit, I don't know.
Yes, thank you. Because that's it. You don't fucking know. if a person decides they're gonna do something, and Mo, I apologize, not to see you, sis. Have you ever been cheated?
Yeah, but hold on. I thought it was funny because you were like, you were talking about like, we got to see black families together, and I was like, I need to hide right now. I should not be.
You can use this information for your side too, honey. Best believe
No,
it. They've been using our information.
No, I don't want that.
So has anybody up here ever cheated?
Ooh, thank you,
Yes.
sir. Now we're on the
have.
other side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have.
I never cheated.
I'm really
I
good
have.
at it.
I've never cheated.
See. Yeah.
I just leave
Yeah.
it.
No.
But you know,
Yeah,
is it really okay? Okay, so is it really cheating though if you let somebody know
Is it
that you
really?
still seeing other people?
Mm.
If you
But
let
no,
them know you still,
no, right, it is. Do it. That's like exercising your options. So
well,
no,
that's the internet word, YouTube word to use. But I was being honest. I was getting flued out. You know, is the word that y'all use. I was getting flued out. I was getting put up.
No, I don't
But
think it's
also,
cheating in that case. If you disclose that up front, what you was doing.
yeah, I
now
was
play the link.
not
Play the link.
100%, not 100%, but probably about 75% of the time. And the women that I didn't really give all that information
They got
to,
flued out.
they were only wanting to be fun people for the night or for the day. I mean, they wasn't trying to get all in my business. They ain't asked me no questions. They were just like, "You like cake?" I was like, "Yeah, I like chocolate." You know what I mean? And they presented the cake.
Can I ask everybody one more question? So have you guys ever passed on a good person? Like if you look back in your past and you're like, damn, that was a good person. I passed on them because, hey, I was either attracted to somebody else. I liked this person for whatever reason, but I overlooked that person that was actually a good person. I'll start with you, M3.
So in other words, like let's say I passed on a good person because that person was ugly. Is that person considered as a good person?
I'm just talking about
What's a
personality,
personality?
character. Yeah.
You talking about a looks.
You definitely passed on some good people with that response.
Yeah, I definitely for sure. Maybe I passed on some okay people, some good people, or whatever. I think, but
Yeah,
sometimes
no, I passed on some good people, so I could admit that. What about you, Malaysia? Have you passed on some good people? If you're being honest, looking in the back in your past.
It actually sounds like Melissa. No fault of your
Oh,
own.
my bad. I'm sorry
I know
about
it's
that.
got the weird spelling. That's why
Was
I
it
said no
Melissa?
fault of your own.
Okay.
I'm just telling y'all so y'all don't keep saying it wrong and I don't keep. It's cool.
No, I appreciate
No,
that.
for
Moral
sure.
of the
Thank you
story
for the
is no
correction.
fault of your own. No fault of your own. I just haven't corrected it yet. Everybody said Malaysia. It's cool. That's probably where this hair is from. It's cool. But the moral of the story is literally. The moral of the story is, have I passed up on good people? I'm not sure because I feel like everybody that I felt like would treat me well, I did give the opportunity to, whether that judgment was correct or incorrect, because I'm in love with love. Even though I mean, I understand your perspective, but according to what I understand love to be, or where I feel like I want to give or fulfill, according to my perspective on the definition of such, then I feel like anybody who has offered to give me that, I have given the opportunity. So I don't know if somebody came to me on some, hey, I'm trying to holler at you. And I was like, yeah, Brody, what's up, my nigga? Peace. And he was like, damn, I don't know.
Okay. What about you, Chocolate?
Yeah. 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 Come on, chocolate.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Answer the question.
Y'all assuming a lot about. That's why I don't like talking to y'all. Y'all assume so much about me.
Answer the question.
So here, yes, I had to in the situation. I was. Either y'all want to know if you don't. If you go, I'll tell you what happened. I don't care. I was in a 4-year relationship with another person. we were in that stage of he was toying with my emotions. He was like, "Oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, blah 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 blah." You know, I was young. I was like 23, 24. Um, During that, was really a hard breakup for me. So I ended up running into a gentleman. He gave me a ride home, and he asked me out on a date, and I was like, I just told you straight up, I'd love to go out with you, but listen, I'm in the middle of a relationship with a dummy. I don't want to bring nobody in here until he's out of my system. So yeah, I did it. Cause I wasn't gonna bring that man in my life, and I'm still hanging on to this dummy. That ain't fair to him. But we did go out though. We went to the movies. We had a good time. He was a junior pastor. So yeah.
Okay. No, I appreciate that. What about you, Mo Love?
So I spent I spent a bunch of time in a cult growing up, and so there's a really nice kid that, like, I don't know, he was a good person at the time, and like I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, no, I don't think I've missed out on good people, because like I was with good people at the time, and then you move on and you don't look back. Like, you grow from each relationship, you grow from every relationship you have. But yeah, don't go to cults. Don't raise your kids in cults. It's weird. It
No.
really fucks them up.
Hey, I
No.
feel you came from. I love. Oh,
Yeah, great
Mo, I
advice.
didn't know that. Thank you for sharing.
No,
Oh, I'm so
No,
sorry
it's
that happened
okay.
to you.
definitely.
It was a fun time. Very interesting.
Okay,
Very
shit.
interesting.
What about you, Coach Ferg?
Funny, I said, most black people are scared of the dark, so cold is something they really would be scared of. Yeah, I know I have. Little chick when I got out of the military and went back to school, and I met her when I was right before I was getting out of the military. She was a good person. You know what I'm saying? A few years younger than me, about 6. And she was all in, man, but my head wasn't in the right space, man. My mom was sick. And I went from being down in Mississippi back to Kentucky at the time. And, you know, my mom, she was gone. So I just wasn't in a good headspace, man. So,
Okay.
and we both found our true happiness in the end. She got married and I got remarried. It's been 12 years this year. So I ain't never going back to the streets. I'm in this shit forever.
No doubt. Mr. Best.
Oh, most definitely I have. So especially when I was young, there was one girl I just thought she was too boring. You know what I mean? She ain't bring that spice. So she was too boring for me, so I had to get out of here.
You like the
Right.
little ratchet?
Stay with somebody.
I didn't say that.
He go left. Coach Ferg go down the street. Damn, it's
No, I want to
everything
know.
they
Some
do.
dudes like them a little ratchet. They say they want the good girl, but they be in
They
love
do
with the
like them ratchet. They do like them ratchet. It ain't stop nothing. Millennia of ratchetness has gone on, and it ain't stopped nobody. Because again, I love how we say, "Oh, we gonna blame the women. Women so bad. We do so much to y'all. We so mean." Listen, if you cannot take care of yourself here, and I'm gonna give you your flowers, Coach. I know I fuck with you a lot. That's because you like skin and you try to talk a lot of shit. So I just have to mess with you. Okay? I'm a former light skin, so you know I gotta talk.
I can
So
take
anyway,
it. I'm Gen X. I can take it. I can take it. I'm Gen X. We can take all that. Bring it.
me too. See, that's the thing. I am too. I'm Gen X, Coach. How you gonna shake your head? You want my ID? How would you think I am, Coach? You can say, hey, I don't care.
45.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be 46 in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, because that's
Proud
why
of it.
you be fighting everybody.
Come on over, girl. Come on over to 46. I've been over here for like a month. Like 6
Let
weeks.
me
I've
tell
been
you
over here.
something. I love every fucking part of it.
I've been
I
over here. for 6 weeks.
I enjoy every minute of it. Because I'm going to tell you something. Like I said before, I'm not being arrogant, but Chocolate ain't worried about being lonely, babe. I ain't never gonna.
Oh, that's you ain't got to go
Yeah.
home.
Because y'all 45-year-old women are cougars now. Y'all like them young and spicy.
Oh, baby, I'm no cougar because I don't have to hunt. They come to the door.
My oldest
They
kid
come
is
to me.
37.
I have never had to hunt for me.
Would you date a 35-year-old?
Who?
If he was fine enough and had deep pockets, yeah.
Okay, I got one answer. Miss Malaysia, would you?
Big old juicy, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Let's go.
He might
Who
not
got
be
it?
a long-term investment, but he could be a 90-day investment though.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, let me help you with your college tuition.
I love her so much.
You can pay his college tuition, but you want a man your age to pay all your bills.
No, I never said that. Hold on real quick. I've never said that. And I've never had a man pay all my bills. Never. I've never experienced that.
Sorry, bro, love.
Even in the last relationship I had, shit. Like I said, I pay my bills. But like I said, yes, I don't have, and it's not arrogance, and I really think it should be louder that there are, we in our 40s, I don't give a shit. Have you looked at it and seen how people look back in the day in their 40s?
Hold on.
They look like Chernobyl.
Chocolate.
They
Listen.
look like Chernobyl.
Chocolate, hold on. Don't compare a 40-year-old woman today to the 40-year-old
I can
woman of the
compare
80s,
whatever
the
I want,
70s,
because you be
the
making up
60s.
all kinds.
No, those were the creme
We
of
are
the
not
creme
in a
of women.
professor's class. I'm not getting no points. I'm gonna say what I want. Calm down. Anyway, like I said, men and women are fragile and complicated. Y'all don't want to admit it. You don't want to be vulnerable. You don't want to give in. You don't want to give nobody no money. You want to complain, and y'all got the nerve to talk about me. I can find the channels all over fucking YouTube where y'all is crying. Oh, these women are so mean, Jesus. They won't even look at me. You cross-eyed, but you bum. I'm not giving you nothing. You smell like trash and you ain't got no money. So what do you want me to do? And I say this: stop pretending. Sorry, stop pretending like money don't matter. Everybody need money in here. Don't try to shame a woman because she wants somebody that know how to financially take care of it. Y'all just sit up here talking about these dainty ass bras. Y'all seem to think that live in the mysteries of fairyland. I'm a woman. You don't like it? Move on. There's plenty of us across the world. But no, you want to pick on us because you don't know what to do with yourself. Y'all don't know what to do with yourself. You don't. That's why y'all do all this outward shit. Y'all take your aggression, y'all take your emotions, y'all take your feelings, and you put it into other shit. You do not talk to us about it. And then you expect us to be understanding and empathetic to you, but you want to hide. You want to hide stuff. Y'all just.
I got a quick question.
I'm done. Y'all always want to make it seem like I'm from planet Ooby Dooby, like this ain't for real. What the?
Does anybody feel like it's possible for us to get back to where everybody feels like we went wrong at? Or do you think we're too far gone in society, wisdom, knowledge, technology to ever go back to basics?
I don't think nobody's too far to go back to basics. It's never too late to have like a restart. It just requires two people to be on one accord to agree on something and try to work together as a team to have a solution and fix the problem. Mm-hmm. So I still have belief that whatever we're dysfunctional and what we're lacking at, we could definitely together. That is. Like, it can't be me alone and it can't be you alone. Like, we really have to put down the work into it together as a team. That's how I look at it.
Thank you, M3, because I'm like, where is the logic of what was just said like last 20 minutes ago when that's it simply it? Be who you are. Ask a dude, ask a woman. If you confident in yourself, if you love who you are, bumps and bruises and all of that, yeah, You're gonna run into shit. Yeah, things are gonna be bad. Things are gonna be crazy, but there's still happiness in between in relationships.
That's
There's
easy.
still joy in it. No, it's not easy. No, it's not easy. Because if it was easy, people would stay together. It is not easy. You know how much I've been told all my life. You play too much, Socket. You always wanna lie. But if I'm around here talking shit all day, now you on the internet talking about how bad of a wife I am. And I'm like, what? I say one
Chocolate,
thing.
hold on one
This
second. I'm
is
gonna let you
where
cook. Hold on one second. Hold on.
I'm only making a sandwich. I'm not gonna
dropping a
say.
timer. I'm dropping a timer. All right. So if anybody want to hang out that's in the chat, you can come hang out in 5 minutes. Because in 5 minutes, I'm just ending the stream. I'm not even dropping the outro. I'm just gonna end the stream. And we're gonna stay back here and probably chop it up. And if y'all want to chop it up with it, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 5 minutes I'm ending the stream. Go ahead.
Chocolate, I want 2.5 of those minutes. So go ahead.
You can't have them. So
No, you
anyway,
gonna
like I
give
said, no, I'm gonna talk all the way through it.
Come on,
I'm gonna just
Chocolate.
be quiet.
No.
You,
Well,
you don't want to waste your time.
let me answer her question.
You don't
Then
want to
you
waste
can
your
go.
time. You
Let me
didn't even
answer her
have to say
question.
nothing. You done wasted 30 seconds. See, I can't be with
So
you.
to your
MacGyver
question,
ass.
to your
You done blew
question,
us up.
this is the life that I've worked with, trying to find a remedy to some people who hadn't got out into life and effed their life up, right? So you're in a dynamic time. You're in that age of wisdom. That 40-year-old light bulb is on. So I can understand it. The question is going to be, are the women going to be brave enough to the women who are moving reckless and the women who sort of isolate themselves and their children from the fathers to say, give them a chance? It's going to have to come from women, because contrary to the women's belief, they a lot of women equate me wanting to have sex with a woman is to me being in a relationship.
Okay, so
That's
then
because that's what we were taught.
question. Give me for the men, because let me give you a full circle. I'm 46 years old. I'm a widow. I've been married twice. The first time I got married, we were Ike and Tina, so that wasn't going to work. The second time, I was in love with church. I went to church. I let them set me up with a person that I didn't think was for me, but okay, fast forward because we won't have time. I'm married. He dies. Okay, so I'm a widow. I haven't been out here in the game in a long time. So for me, my introduction when I came back out was Sexy Red and everything else that's on social media. I had to go back to go and find something that was familiar to when I remember that dating and courtship was. So what piece of advice do you have for me so that I don't end up in the category that you guys are speaking of women in a way that just doesn't seem pleasant?
Okay, so just really quick, do you have a list of things that you expect from a person, or you would like to have a person? Okay, so come up with some expectations, but also
I
have some.
what I like and what I don't like, but I think
okay.
Go ahead.
No, she
No, but
expects
see-
trust and loyalty.
Okay, but
Obviously.
see, here's the thing. You're older now, so there should be no conversation unturned. You shouldn't assume anything about a man that you meet, and a man shouldn't assume anything about you.
Right. That's why I don't have a list, because I'm a conversationalist.
So what I'm saying is, but you're coming into it with expectations that you want, right? I would know that. I would know that. I would know
if I wasn't interested.
But you can't expect any man to know what your expectations are, because every woman's expectations will be different.
That's
so
what
if you have
conversation is for.
But that's what I'm saying. You have to have that list of questions, 21 questions.
Mhm.
You have to ask questions
Yeah, I
that
like in 21 questions. I just don't have a list of expectations.
right. So but states your expectations is in the questions too. Like
Okay.
how does he treat his family? Who is he in his family, and man, vice versa.
Then we're on
How
the
to-
same page.
But you have to have those conversations, and you have to have them more than one time,
Mhm.
right? And you have to have some negotiables,
Okay.
because everybody got their list.
Mhm.
And now what can we understand that, okay, 3 things on my list ain't gonna work, 3 things on your list. So let's throw them out and come up with a whole new list of those 3 so we can find something to build on. And we got to understand that, to me, because I didn't think I was gonna get married, and I didn't think, because I had 6 women to make up one, but I wasn't worrying about, it was just a different time. Now I understand it, because my wife had to have me understand that she values everything I do to protect the family, and I value everything she does to protect the family. It's none of ours, yours. It's everything together. I'm not a guy that if my wife will leave me, I'm still gonna be okay. When I die, my wife still is taken care of for the rest of her life. But you have to be willing to talk about the top: religion, sex, children, and money. If you don't have those conversations, you can't hyphenate your name. You can't have separate. Everything got to be joined. But everybody look at it like I'm scared, and so
you guys got
you're in a unique situation right now, being 40.
Hold on, M3. I got this. Listen, we gonna continue this conversation. So if y'all haven't come through, then you haven't come through. You just gonna have to watch the replay. We about to chop it up backstage. We love you guys. All right, we'll be back on tomorrow. Okay, me and my sister Melissa will be back on tomorrow. All right, you know what I mean. But for the viewing audience, love you guys, and we'll be back tomorrow. Much love. Later.